To be a Steelers, consider others before you consider yourself. To protect your brother, even from himself. To give support at your own expense. And when wearing the black and gold suit of armor, make sure nobody desecrates it, disrespects it. Most importantly, we ourselves don't dishonor it. From previous legends who have donned the black and gold. These virtues I learned while playing for the Steelers are what make the legacy of the black and gold timeless. They are passed down in the locker room from the steel curtain to anyone who valiantly wears the black and gold. Creating a brotherhood that is deeper than money, business, and winning. To be a Steelers, consider others before you consider yourself. This is our culture, Steeler culture. Now, here are your hosts, Rob and Dan, the Steel Twins.
Chat, what the fuck is this? What are we honestly doing here, chat?
Bro, we're cooked.
What are we doing?
What is he doing?
We are wasting away a free agency waiting on a decision of a 41-year-old man barefoot on a beach with a blanket over him with earbuds that still involve cords, actually.
Is Renegade playing?
I have no idea.
And he's wearing a backwards hat.
We're waiting the decision of this man. What are we doing?
We're cooked, bro.
In fact, literally, right before we went live, Jerry Dolick has a new update. He says on X, apparently the delay in the Aaron Rodgers discussion with the Steelers is not about money. The offer has been made. It's about Rodgers taking his good old time about making a decision. Can somebody in this camp tell him to hurry the fuck up? We got things to do. The Steelers have yet to sign a quarterback, obviously.
You know, we could be doing things even with this situation. I mean, I see other teams, you know, that are still trying to figure out their quarterback for the season, and they're still making moves. They're still signing players. They're still spending the cap. Steelers still have 50 to 60 million in cap space. And we're just sitting on our hands, basically, for the most part, waiting on this man, a word from this man. So essentially, the Steelers are held hostage by Aaron Rodgers.
No, chat. I do not want Aaron Rodgers. Nobody here wants Aaron Rodgers. No one wants Aaron Rodgers. I don't want Russ. I don't want either.
No, but Russ is the backup plan.
In fact, those are the only two options we have right now. And there's a great chance that Russ, because he's meeting with 3 teams, one of them including, hilariously, the Browns.
Yeah, sorry, Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, again. Russ is meeting with 3 teams. Rodgers can't make up his damn mind, and he might even retire. So who are we left with? Who? Daniel Jones just got signed by the Colts.
Thank God.
Mac Jones just signed to the Niners literally like 10 minutes ago.
Thank God.
Jameis Winston?
Well, Marcus Mariota is a Commander again.
These are all awful options.
It would have to be our Lord and Savior Mason Rudolph, correct?
Y'all think I'm playing? Y'all think I'm playing?
So he had it prepared. He had it ready to go, dude.
I'm ready to ride again.
Dude,
bro.
I kid you not. I kid you not. Me and Dan right here. If this man becomes a Steeler once again, we will deck this man's jersey every single game for every single week of the upcoming season. No BS.
We are this desperate. And I am all for dude, screw it. I am all for bringing back Mason Rudolph at this point. I am.
We got the whole chat saying Mason.
Why not?
He's out there. His number's available. He's just waiting to get a call.
Even if he is just a backup, who cares? We need a backup quarterback anyway.
You know who our quarterback is right now officially as the new league year has begun?
Nobody.
Skylar Thompson.
I'm going in, Rob.
Warm up, bro.
Somebody.
Warm up.
Somebody get ready.
Get that arm ready, dude.
This is what it's like to have life without an elite quarterback.
No, this is what happens when the Steelers don't have a proper plan at quarterback.
My God. Chat, I don't know what's going on, man. There's a poll for you guys. How are we feeling about the Steelers' free agency moves so far? Keep in mind, it's not really much of anything crazy. It's nothing drastic. So, is it
outside the Metcalf trade?
Yes, which is unofficial. But it's official now. The Steelers have yet to announce it.
No, but Metcalf has already said his goodbyes to Seattle. He put a post out there.
Adios, Seattle. Welcome to Pittsburgh, DK Metcalf.
Now, who's throwing him the ball?
I don't care anymore. I really don't.
Hey, Metcalf got his money.
Dude, I thought we'd have already signed a quarterback by now.
That was my optimism when the trade was announced.
I thought we would have signed someone by Monday. I took a sick day yesterday, hoping we would get a quarterback, and nothing happened until 9 o'clock.
You know what this is with A-Rod? This is like Brandin Ayuk all over again.
Dude, we are in the third day of free agency, and we have yet to sign a quarterback.
How many sunsets has A-Rod already seen?
I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what's going on, man. Tonight, we're going to be discussing the signings of Kenneth Gainwell and Brandin Echols. 2 depth pieces that the Steelers signed. Nothing crazy, nothing drastic, nothing to blow your mind. Those are depth signings that the Steelers have made. Improvements for depth. Depth is very important, especially at running back and corner for the Steelers.
Indeed.
Solid signings. We'll discuss it. We'll discuss what else is available. And maybe discuss other quarterback options. Maybe trade options. I don't know, guys. I'm at a loss.
Just trying to make sense of this whole ordeal and this whole situation that the Steelers have basically put themselves in right now. Steeler Lee with a 199. Shout out to Steeler Lee.
Word is Shador's falling. What you think, 21? I'm not taking any quarterback at 21.
No, but I'll tell you right now, my fear because of this situation, whether A-Rod's a Steeler or not, or even if Russ is a Steeler or not, they may have to be in a desperate situation where they unfortunately may have to take quarterback. I don't want that.
No, that's Kenny Pickett 2.0.
I do not want that.
It. No,
they
don't
better
do it.
not.
Don't do it.
But this is their fault.
That's for next year. That's for 2026. It's in Pittsburgh, for fuck's sake.
This is their fault.
Do not be pressured to draft a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah, but we're desperate. We're desperate enough to wait on A-Rod's word.
I don't care who falls. Don't take a quarterback in the first round. That is not the year.
Listen, we'll talk.
It's bad enough you signed an aging corner, no matter how good he still is or not. We're going to have to take defensive line. We're going to have to take running back. We don't have a second-round pick. Now is not the time to go quarterback in the first round. Not this year.
Listen, man, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about all of that on this edition of the Steeler Culture Podcast, where we break down Pittsburgh Steelers football. As this episode is powered by our great friends over at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Yes.
So thank you guys for tuning in on this live Wednesday night. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's just a pure shit show right now, at least in my opinion.
Yes, it's a massive shit show, as a matter of fact.
Swear jar.
There's not much going on in regard to the organization. I feel like they are wasting their time on a 41-year-old quarterback that can't make up his mind whether he wants to play or not. And the Steelers, they haven't really made any crazy signings. I feel like free agency thus far has been pretty disappointing. They haven't done much. Maybe I got my expectations too high. Outside the DK trade, I can't honestly say that they have filled certain positions for the long haul.
Not for the future.
Not for the future. Defensive line I can live with because I was already set on them possibly going D-line in the first round, and there's immense talent there. So D-line I ain't going to trip over because I think we're going to go D-line anyway.
Maybe even double dip it. Maybe.
But corner, I'm a little upset about it. They signed 2 corners, though. They signed 2 corners. They signed Darius Slay, and they signed Brandin Echols. Slay will be the 2 opposite JPJ. He'll be a hell of a mentor for the young guys, and Echols will come in and be great depth. Much better than Sutton, much better than Pierre. I mean, it's not saying much, but he's a very good cover guy. Very, very good football player.
And very versatile at that. Something that I'm sure Gerald Alexander will be very happy to work with.
So it's not like they haven't gone out to sign people. It's not like they haven't gone out to spend money. It's just not the level of what we thought. You know what I mean?
I mean, you got some extra change in your pocket. Why not, splurge yourself a little bit? Why not try to go out there and get a bigger marquee name, a bigger familiar name at that in free agency? Guys that were still there by the time that, you could have signed them. Instead, you opted to sign these guys. Now, it is possible that those free agents didn't want to come here. Pittsburgh isn't exactly the most desired designation that it once was, right? Some free agents may just not want to come to Pittsburgh.
Right.
Maybe it's just their feelings, their desires, their decisions. That could very well be the case.
I don't know.
But I can only hope that the Steelers at least try to reach out to these guys, try to make an offer to them.
I think it also has a lot to do with they want to be able to conserve as many comp picks for next year as possible. And if they make a big splash signing, that cancels it out immediately.
It's one way of thinking about it.
It is. That's in my opinion, that's Omar Khan's long game. He's a long gamer, right? That's his long game. My issue with it is I totally understand it, but they had opportunities to make splashes. They had opportunities to fulfill these positions for a couple years, only for them to have to worry about the position next year as well, such as corner.
Yeah.
Defensive line, again, I'm not tripping over it much because we're going to go D-line early, probably at 21. That's probably the most advised pick at 21, personally, because literally we have no one at nose tackle. You want to move Benton to 3-tech opposite Hayward? By all means. I think a lot of people would agree with that. But we don't have a nose tackle.
Not a true one, not a true consistent starter at that.
And we don't have a running back.
I wouldn't consider Adams as that nose tackle. Not a consistent starter at that.
No.
So it's just like, here we are, discussing about it, talking about it.
Yeah. And we'll discuss a lot, man. We'll discuss everything that's been going on the past couple of days. Again, it's not much from the Steelers, but updates on Russ, Rodgers, some of the free agents that we lost due to free agency. We'll discuss all that, man. But we appreciate you guys for joining us. If you're new, hit the like, subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. Again, there's a poll in the chat. Let us know you guys' personal feelings regarding everything in free agency thus far. So far, 54% of you guys are feeling good about the free agency moves. You guys are feeling good. I do like the depth signings. I will say that. I'm a fan of the depth signings. And I'm growing a little bit on the Slay signing. It's not that Slay can't play. He still can. It's just a matter of they're going to have to replace it again next year. That's where I'm at with it. We'll discuss it. But appreciate you guys watching. A huge shout to the sponsor of this live stream. Appreciate BetUS Sportsbook and Casino for sponsoring with us on this video as we look at Cooper Kupp. Kupp was cut. Kupp is officially released now. He can sign anywhere. He can sign anywhere he wants to. The Steelers are at the top of the list, obviously. I know they got DK, we got Pickens, but can you imagine Kupp in the slot? That is a massive upgrade at wide receiver compared to last year.
Big time.
And I, for one, am for a Kupp signing if it's cheap, because why not? I don't know who the quarterback's going to be, and I'm not expecting anything great out of whoever that quarterback's going to be this year, but you give him weapons to work with, you might have something to work with.
And a great veteran and mentor and leader at that in the wide receiver room.
Which we need. This would be kind of like the Darius Slay of the offense. Someone with great experience, mentorship. It's what the young guys need. So I don't hate the idea of bringing in Kupp. In fact, I am for it. So we'll see if it happens. But Chargers could bring him in. The Chargers just signed Mike Williams too. Cowboys, Patriots, Commanders. He could go to the Bills. I could see the Bills definitely trying to grab a guy like Kupp. He's a contender. So I could see that being a
huge possibility.
A matching duo there. But they got all those odds if you guys want to place a bet on who do you think will be Cooper Kupp's next team. Plus, when you go to BetUS for any of your sports needs, man, they have a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 and 125% on your following 3 deposits using the promo code YouTube150 when signing up at BetUS.com today. So I want to thank them for sponsoring with us on this live stream. Just please gamble responsibly. We got a super chat. Jawan Infamous with a 5. Doesn't even say anything.
Appreciate the gesture, man. Thank you.
Shout out to Jawan. Appreciate you guys all in the chat. Where do you want to start with?
Let's talk about the new additions that we have brought recently, the new signings that were just announced.
Might as well, man.
Let's get into it.
First, we're gonna start with Kenneth Gainwell. First of all, I'm gonna just put this out there. I hope this isn't the only Kenneth that they bring in
Wink, wink.
this offseason. You know what I mean? I mean,
We got one on offense.
well, not only that, but he went to a certain college that starts with the letter M. Maybe we bring in another guy that from a college that starts with the letter M, if you catch my drift. Just putting it out there. I think that'd be a phenomenal pick. Just putting it out there. Kenneth Gainwell is signing a 1-year deal with the Steelers. This is going to be a hell of an improvement over Cordell Patterson. Patterson has not been cut yet. His contract is not running out, but there's no reason the Steelers should keep Cordell Patterson. They tendered Warren. He'll be here for this season. He'll probably start as the RB1 as week 1 hits. Kenneth Gainwell is going to be a great 3. And if he ever has to step in for some other reason, he was the 2 to Shaquan last year, the 2 for the Eagles for several years now. He's a former 5th-round pick. Great receiving upside. Coming out of Memphis, it was a receiver turned running back, so he has that receiving upside. He can play 3 downs or he can play 3rd downs as that, receiving back, but he's a tough runner at the same time. He's got speed to him. He's a little juicy as a running back. And as a kick returner, I think that'd be a hell of an improvement at kick returner because Patterson
did nothing.
Too old, too slow. Now you bring in someone that is younger, faster, and a lot more tough. I like the signing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fine addition to the running back room. He's very flashy at times. He's a very good, reliable receiving back, which is very good and necessary for Arthur Smith's system and just how he uses his running backs. I'd still anticipate the Steelers to, of course, find another running back 1, most likely in the draft. Warren would probably start off as that, be given that opportunity early on, and then just kind of gel Gainwell in there a little bit and then the rookie in there because Smith is all about his 3 running back sets. He loves to get them involved in the running department and the receiving department.
Well, the amount of tosses and checkdowns we saw to Patterson, there's no way a guy like Gainwell can't see field time either.
Yeah, and just eliminate the tosses ultimately.
And I remember that game versus the Eagles last year. We couldn't tackle him to save our lives.
No, it was one of the best games Gainwell ever looked in, honestly.
Yeah, because Barkley got hurt early in that game. Gainwell came in and had one of his best games last year.
Yeah, and Gainwell's a good talent. He's a good talent. He's a very capable back. He can run the ball. He can receive the ball, most importantly. But like you stated, he's also a capable special teamer. I would definitely anticipate Patterson to be cut, and we would save, a little over $2 million, $2.5 million?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I would do in a heartbeat. Just cut the slack. There's no need to keep Patterson. Screw the Arthur Smith, chemistry that they have. That didn't bode well at all.
No.
Whatsoever. So, cut Patterson, have Gainwell, replace him at that, and just continue to look for another running back, preferably in the draft, and then your running back room is pretty much set. There's a lot of youth, a lot of receiving upside, and a lot of talent.
And yeah, this obviously doesn't take away them going running back early, 1st round, 3rd round potentially. I mean, Gainwell's not here to replace Najee. We didn't lose Najee to the Chargers to bring in Gainwell to replace him. That's not how it is here.
No.
He's the 3. He's going to be a good rotational guy.
I think down the road he could be the 3, but I could see him starting off as a number 2. Because I could see the Steelers starting the rookie, despite, wherever they draft him at, be the number 3.
The rookie's not being the 3.
I can see him starting off as a 3. I can, because of the experience and the veteranship of Warren and Gainwell.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be surprised by it, but there's no way that you make the rookie the 3.
I'm just saying I would not be surprised if that were to happen.
I'm not surprised either.
And just with the 3 running back sets, it's like the rookie wouldn't see any opportunity, wouldn't see any playing time.
Well, I know he would, but I mean, we're going to need that rookie to go in as soon as he can.
I hear you.
Because
unless they really want to see what Warren's all about and see if he can really, run away with the running back 1 position as far as training camp and as far as NFL games go.
I don't know, we'll see.
Just throwing it out there.
But yeah, Juice Bellamy in the chat says DJ Giddens is visiting us. Yes, he's going to be a top 30 visit, running back from Kansas State. He could be an option in the 3rd round. I think the 3rd round is a sweet spot for running back. I know it's a tough spot because a lot of the speedier guys are going to be gone, like the Buckeye guys, or maybe Tutton will be gone by then. Giggins is a guy that could take into the 3rd and still be, a productive back, maybe the future guy as the 1 with Warren, right? So I could see that being the case. They could go running back round 1. It depends who's on the board. If Hampton's there, I think he's the pick.
It really depends on who's on the board.
If Genty falls for some stupid reason,
It might be
He
hard.
has
It
to be
really
the
might
pick.
be hard to pass up on that. Yes.
Like I'm heavy on D-line being the first pick now. But if Gentry's there, I don't know how you pass on that.
I know, man. It would be really difficult.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Icy Roads, member for 18 months, says, miss you too. Currently coping about Rodgers. We're all coping about Rodgers.
Yeah.
We're all coping about Rodgers.
Yeah,
I mean,
just waiting, just like the Steelers. We're just waiting.
I thought we had a decision yesterday. And I thought, it's Wednesday. I thought we get a decision today. No.
Danielle says, post the A-Rod pick again, please.
Sure.
Why the hell not, Danielle? Shout out to
got you.
Danielle. Why the hell not?
Let me get that up here.
Why not? Oh my.
Why not?
goodness.
Just because I think it's funny and
It
ridiculous.
is funny. I mean, like, oh my god. Go ahead. There you go.
I'll put it up here for you. What are we doing, guys?
Bro, what?
That's a legit image. Oh my goodness.
If the Steelers sign Aaron Rodgers, they
Is-
should just use this picture.
Is that my quarterback?
That is hashtag not my quarterback.
No, it's not. Absolutely not.
Hashtag not my quarterback. No.
My goodness.
No one
dude.
wants Rodgers, especially for the price tag that is being rumored. According to Mike Florio of
Pro Football Talk.
he's saying 2-year, $90 million, $40 million guaranteed. Are you kidding me?
No,
This is what we're wasting a free agency period on?
But no, we couldn't pay Justin Fields. Again, the money wasn't the issue.
No.
Deep down, it was not the issue.
Moving on. So Kenneth Gainwell was signed last night for being a running back 3 and a new kick returner, ideally,
Yes.
as depth. The Steelers signed another corner. The Darius Slay signing did go official. He was cut by the Eagles, and he is officially signed with the Steelers. And Darius Slay's contract is 1 year, $10 million, fully guaranteed. Which, for Icy Roads,
we've got 2 words
with a 10. Bro's letting the beach winds to hear on who he needs to sign with. Maybe the beach winds were telling him, hey, retire. Don't go to Pittsburgh. You're too old. Go to the nursing home.
Maybe he was walking around the beach and he picked up a seashell. Maybe he went to listen. You know? Who knows what he's doing out there?
I don't care. I don't care what he's doing.
I
out
have
there.
no idea, dude.
But Darius Slay is officially signed, so he will be the cornerback 2 to JPJ.
$10 million fully guaranteed.
I think that's a solid deal for him. He's still very productive, and that's not the issue here.
The issue is not his play. Like, I never took anything away as far as Slay and what he can bring to the table on the field.
No,
and as a
'cause-
mentor to the young guys in the cornerback group.
And that's exactly why they brought him in, because they still view Trice as a potential starter piece for the future, and they need a young piece. Jawan with a 2. Don't even say nothing. Again, Jawan's silent. I guess that's all of us if we sign Aaron Rodgers, isn't it? I feel you, bro. I feel you. But, yeah, they like Trice a lot, so they're going to need the young guy to be mentored by a vet, someone that is still productive, someone with longevity, someone very impressive for his age. That is Darius Slay. Not taking anything from him.
No.
My issue, our issue, is he's a rental. We got to replace the position again next year. Like, why are we doing this again? Why are we doing this for another year? I feel like the opportunity to pick up a younger talent that could have been here for 3-4 years would have been more ideal than picking up an older vet, although he's still productive. I'd rather solidify the position than just have to worry about fixing it next year. And I'm not banking on Corey Trice staying healthy.
No.
It's been 2 years.
And we've talked about the cornerback position in a separate video earlier in the offseason. The fact that the Steelers don't really take the cornerback position seriously, or in our opinions, they don't really take the position seriously because every year it's nothing but a fill-in. They just band-aid the situation year in and year out.
It's fill-ins and unproven depth. It's what they're relying on.
I mean, it was Levi Wallace. It was Patrick Peterson. It was Dante Jackson year in and year out. And names before that, I mean, like, they even tried William Jackson III, for God's sake. And that man never played a snap. They traded for him.
Right.
Never played a snap. So it's like, it's just these fill-ins just for the upcoming season.
But I will say, although I don't like that portion of the Darius Slay signing, I do like his mentorship because I do think the young guys do need someone like him in the room. We are too young in the secondary, so I get that portion of the signing, and he is still very productive. He's still a damn good coverage corner. I am more happy with this cornerback room than I was with last year's.
Oh, handy card, Mexican with a 2. If not Rodgers, then who? I don't even know anymore, dude. That man right there.
Y'all think I'm not joking?
That man right there.
I'm not joking.
Why not?
If we sign Mason Rudolph, we will come on here and absolutely go nuts because we're that desperate.
Yes, we
Even
are.
if he's just a backup, I don't care.
But your statement, the cornerback group better than last year.
Yeah,
I agree.
I am much more comfortable with this cornerback room than I was with last year.
I agree. I mean, last year was just bad. Nobody stood out. Nobody was consistent. Cam Sutton, after suspension, was just awful. You take playing time and snaps away from Beanie Bishop, who was one of the better players in the secondary before the bye week, for Cam Sutton.
And our depth relied on James Pierre and Corey Trice, who was hurt half the year.
Yes, he was.
Now, if you're looking at the cornerback room this upcoming season, and this is without potentially drafting a rookie, I don't know. We'll get into that later. We got Darius Slay, JPJ, Beanie Bishop, Corey Trice, and now Brandin Echols. Brandin Echols was a former 6th-round pick for the Jets. He is a little smaller for corner. He's 5'10", about 180, roughly, on a good day. But I'll tell you, man, from the small portions I saw, very good in coverage, very tough defensive back, and good ball skills. 19 career starts, 4 of them last year, 5 career interceptions with the Jets. And frankly, I will say this, he was kind of buried in a stacked Jets corner core that included DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner and guys like that, right?
Of course.
So he didn't get to see a lot of playing time, but when his name was called, he always stepped up to the plate. And that's one thing that stood out a lot to Jets fans. So that says everything you need to know about a guy like Echols and how much of a good depth piece he's going to be. Not only that, he's going to be a hell of a special teams gunner because he's seen time in the slot in 2023. Last year, he saw a lot of time as an outside guy in rotations, right? Or when he had to step in for 4 starts, and he saw a lot of special teams time. This is a very good depth signing.
Yeah, this is a much better and bigger upgrade than James Pierre. 100%.
And Cam Sutton combined.
The guy is capable of starting. The guy is capable of having inside and outside versatility. That's what he brings to the table. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a Nate Hobbs, who ended up signing with Green Bay for like 4 years or whatnot.
Right.
He got the bag in Green Bay, but his play style and versatility is very similar to a Nate Hobbs, which is something that the Steelers could use, and it's something that they adore and crave when it comes to the cornerback room. And Gerald Alexander at that, with him being the defensive backs coach. So I find this to be an upgrade and a very good signing as far as depth-wise. Me personally, I would consider putting him in the slot, most importantly.
Yeah,
at least at first.
I'd have him battle with Beanie for sure.
Give Beanie some competition. Have him and Beanie go after it for the starting nickel position. But even then, the guy is capable of moving outside and being that outside depth if need be, because the Steelers could certainly use an upgrade at that. And I think this guy can be an upgrade at that.
And Ryan in the chat says Asante Samuel Jr. is still a free agent. I don't know how. And I would love the Steelers to bring him in as another signing, especially if he's cheap, because he's a guy that could be in rotations with a Slay or a Beanie in the slot, right? He's another guy that can work in the slot. And then when Slay goes after 1 year, when the 2025 season's up, you can bounce Samuel outside opposite JPJ if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That could be their solution for corner in the future if they wanted to. I just don't know how many more bodies they add to the corner room, since they already have 5 guys locked for the roster as we stand in Slay, JPJ, Echols, Beanie, and Trice, and Ryan Watts, but he's probably going to see more safety time.
I would expect that, yeah.
Where does this leave corner in the draft? Obviously, they're not going corner early anymore. I don't want to roll out any position in the first, but I feel like I can roll corner out in the first. And maybe even a third, because I feel like defensive line and running back are 2 more important needs.
Would you consider cornerback taken off the board for first round?
Corner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Again, we need D-line and running back.
Well, yes. Most importantly, we do. But those positions are stacked. I'm not saying cornerback isn't stacked, but defensive line running back is. I would consider more stacked than cornerback. Right?
I don't disagree. I just think from the Steelers' perspective, they brought in 2 corners, 2 vets. They're not looking at corner as a serious need anymore. Or not that much of a serious need anymore. Not until next year.
Yeah, I understand that mindset. I understand that method there.
So I feel
But
like
I'm looking at in a different aspect of like, okay, how can we look at it from a future standpoint? Because Slade's only going to be here for this upcoming season.
see that's how
After,
I want them.
after that, who's the cornerback 2 for next year?
That's something they're gonna have to worry about next year. That's what the Steelers are doing. They're taking it year by year. That's the approach I want them to take. Is your thinking?
Yes.
I love that thinking.
Because I'm trying to think of the future when it comes to this.
So am I. So I would still love them to go corner early,
Especially if a corner like a Will Johnson or Jerron Barron somehow happened to fall down to the Steelers' laps in 21. I mean, how can you
or
pass up on
Jade
that?
Barron, Trey Amos, Benjamin Morrison.
Yeah, how can you pass on that? It'd be difficult to do so.
I wouldn't. They already passed on Mitchell and of course Gonzalez, right, for tackles.
Yes.
But I don't think the Steelers thinking it that way. I want them to think that way. I'm not saying they shouldn't go corner early. They definitely should. I just think that they view corner not as much of a need no more since they brought in 2 guys officially, and they're looking at D-line and running back as bigger needs. And they are, because we don't have nobody. We don't have a starter at nose tackle. We don't have a starter at running back outside of Warren.
No, we cut Ogunjobi, and we haven't replaced him yet as of now.
And the D-line free agents are scraps.
They're thin right now. Yeah, the big name
Super
defensive
thin.
linemen were taken quickly off the shelves. There's hardly anybody out there at this moment. But I mean, cornerback is, when you look at it, yeah, they have their 5 cornerbacks. They have them there and then.
So me as a fan, as much as I don't want to admit, as much as I don't like it, this is not how I am viewing where the Steelers should be thinking. This is what I think they are thinking.
Okay.
I'm going to confidently rule out corner in the first round now that they brought in 2 guys. I don't like it, but I think I can confidently roll it out based on what the Steelers are thinking.
Okay, but let's say no cornerback first round. Do they take a cornerback in general in the draft?
I hope so. I feel like in the 4th round, there's going to be enough talent that you can't pass on, like a Jacob Parrish, a Denzel Burke, a Noel Williams, a Quincy Riley.
Yeah.
There's
some
Denzel Burke is another one.
And listen, like I already know, we can't develop corners under the Mike Tomlin regime. Our development for cornerbacks have been awful.
Which is another reason I want them to make a bigger splash in free agency.
A long-term solution at cornerback rather than just rentals.
Yeah.
But that's been the case under Mike Tomlin.
I guess we shouldn't be surprised now, should we?
No, I mean we shouldn't. But that's the funny part. Like we shouldn't be surprised, but it always frustrates us every year, every time.
Yeah.
Like a different approach, especially with the cap space that they got. They got some extra change. Their wallet's a lot more bulky than it usually is.
Right.
So go out there and splurge yourself a little bit. Get a big name cornerback. Fill that position permanently for 3 to 4 years.
Now, Tyrone Johnson, he says, if Barron or Nick Amawari is there, run the card to the table. I agree. I still want them to address defensive back early. I just don't think they are, which upsets me. They're going to view D-line and running back as bigger needs.
Yeah, like
Maybe even quarterback, which I think is a bad decision.
I feel they should consider taking cornerback early in the first round if a top guy somehow manages to fall down.
I'll tell you right now, man.
Because you've been in that boat and you missed on that boat a couple times.
I would love Kenneth Grant. That's kind of like my favorite right now in the first.
Yeah.
But if Jade Barron's there, bro,
That's like Brian Branch all over again.
that's what I'm saying.
You don't miss up on that. You already did. And
low,
look what he's
low
doing for
key,
Detroit.
like low key in the first round. That's secretly who I want is Barron.
Yeah.
Like I love Grant. If one of the running backs are there, I can see that being the pick. But Jade Barron would be ideal for me.
Listen, there's no way he falls though, right?
Probably not.
But you'd be surprised.
Crazier things
You'd be
have happened.
surprised.
What-
Crazier things
how
have
how was
happened.
Gonzalez there? How was Mitchell there?
Exactly.
Crazier things have happened. But I don't think the Steelers are going to look at them. They're going to look at D-line or running back.
I feel like they should look at corner, but my gut feeling is that they won't. But I do hope that they consider taking a cornerback for depth purposes, for developmental purposes in the later mid rounds. Because I feel like it's necessary. It'll be more of a backup plan.
Yeah.
You know, when Slay goes and you can have that competition. If Trice's durability holds up and you have this other guy right there, then you can kind of have a better outlook at the cornerback 2 competition for next season.
I feel like if they go corner at all in the draft now, the 4th round is the sweet spot. There's going to be enough talent that's going to fall out of day 2 that you shouldn't pass on.
Yeah.
We'll see if that actually happens. That's just where we kind of sit at now regarding the corner position via the draft. Now that they brought in 2 bodies with Slay and what's his name?
Echols.
Echols, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. They brought in names for sure. They brought in numbers. I can't take that away from them. I could question their mindset specifically, but they brought in people, they brought in names, they brought in new bodies.
Yeah.
And I can confidently say I am much more
Confident.
happy with this group than I am than last year.
Would you say you're more confident?
Yeah.
I would say that too.
But it's only for 20. Here's the problem though. This is for only 2025.
Yeah, which like the additions are fine. From a play standpoint, they're fine. I just wish that they would think more in a future aspect. They would have more of a future mindset aspect at the cornerback position.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
Like Khan, we say he's a long gamer, especially with the comp picks that he's trying to acquire, which is why he didn't make as many splashes as we all anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
But in the long game, I'm still thinking, bro, solidify a corner or whatever.
Like make it a position that you don't have to deal with.
Well,
You no longer have to address it.
unless they really like Trice and then they view him as being the next guy opposite JPJ. But can he stay healthy? It's a massive gamble. We'll see if it pays off for him.
And we'll see if they continue to address the cornerback position. There's still some names in the cornerback position. There's Asante Samuel. I know Mike Hilton's still a free agent, I believe. I necessarily wouldn't get my toes into that pool. I wouldn't make the defensive back group older, but just throwing it out there. We'll see what they can do in the NFL draft if they still want to address the corner position.
Yeah. We'll see if that actually happens. Russell Wilson. Let's get into Russell Wilson, huh?
Let's ride.
No, we're not right.
No more.
Okay, chat. Genuine question. Rodgers or Russ?
Oh, God.
I listen, it pains me that we're down to these two. Rodgers or Russ? Who would you prefer? I keep going back and forth with it.
Should we make that the poll? Should
Yeah.
we make that the new poll? Let's poll it.
This is like the 7th time this year that we made this a poll.
Oh, boy.
Now, again, I keep going back and forth with it. Rodgers or Russ? I think, what was it, Monday? Monday I said Rodgers because, we already saw what we can do at Russ. But that was before the contract details came out, or the projected contract details. And Rodgers is too much of a damn child man. A man-child. He's 41 years old, walking on a beach, and can't make up his mind.
He craves the attention.
He's a
That's what
control
A-Rod's about.
freak.
Yeah.
Do we want that in the locker room with head cases like GP and DK? Like, Smith and Russ didn't get along. You think that's going to be any better with Rodgers?
I think HBO is calling about Hard Knocks, knocking on the Steelers' door.
Hard pass. Hard pass. So I keep going back and forth with it.
But right now, the poll with 62% says Rodgers.
Can we just sign Mason and everything will be okay? Can we just sign Mason and then everything will be fine? Everyone will be happy?
Is it bad that I would be more intrigued to see Mason come back and be the quarterback
Yes.
than Rodgers or Russ?
That's what I prefer now. That's what I prefer. Why? Because it's cheaper and it's less of a damn head case in the locker room.
And the players actually root for Rudolph.
Yes.
They surround Rudolph because Rudolph he's a leader. Rudolph is a leader to some degree. He's a guy that the team rallies around, that the team wants to see succeed, that, when given the opportunity like he did in 2023 at the tail end, like the team wanted this man to help the team. They wanted this man to help the team win games. They wanted this man to help make this team succeed. They wanted this man to succeed. They rallied around this team because they knew within that group he was the best option. He was the better quarterback.
At that time. I'd even bring him in just to be backup. He doesn't have to be the starter. Just make him a backup.
Right now we don't have a backup. So, what harm can it do?
At
the
this
very
point,
least.
I don't want Rodgers. I don't want Russ. I would sign Mason and then I would trade for Joe Milton.
Yeah, because Tomlin, he says he prefers mobility at the quarterback
Well, you're
position.
not getting that with Russ, and you're definitely not getting that with Rodgers.
No.
You want mobility? Take a 2026 fifth and trade for Joe Milton. Sign Rudolph. It's not the best quarterback room. Neither was what we dealt with Mitch, Kenny, and Mason. But I'll tell you what. It's a bridge anyway. Go the cheapest option you can. And guess what? Sign Mason to a 1-year deal. Whatever happens, happens. At least with Joe Milton's not the future, but he would be your backup for the next couple years.
Yeah, he's already got 3 years left in his rookie deal. It's a cheap contract.
He would literally be your new backup.
If you're not down with that,
What harm can it do?
we've got 2 words for
Andy
you.
Cart, Mexican with a 2. After Russ threw 6.5 yards, Rodgers it is.
Am I the only one that thinks that Rodgers would do the same? I mean, we had every quarterback in the last however many years throw for 6 yards in one half. Kenny did it. Russ did it. Mitch did it. Fields did it.
Mm-hmm.
Ben did it.
See, here's the thing that I don't get. Here's the thing I do not get. Right? The Steelers want to run the football effectively. Right? And what did they do last offseason to find a proper OC, they got Arthur Smith, whose go-to and what he's adamant about is running the football, right?
Yes.
Run the ball!
Jawan.
Exactly.
Jawan. Remember 11 months. Mason went through all the trenches and battles. Sure did.
Yes, he did. But the Steelers want to run the football. Smith's adamant about running the football. A quarterback with mobility can help aid in that, right?
Well, Joe Milton has a similar skill set to Justin Fields, and he fits what Arthur Smith wants to do.
Yes, and that could have been Justin Fields, but now it's not. That ain't happening, obviously.
No.
The Steelers have an opportunity to potentially get Joe Milton, get him in, see what this man can do, and see what type of upside he can bring to the table. That's a possibility. But the Steelers want to run the football. And now they're in conversations about Aaron Rodgers, trying to acquire Aaron Rodgers, and it appears that Russell Wilson is now the backup plan.
Right.
So the Steelers want to run the football, but they obviously need a quarterback. And you got two quarterbacks in Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson as plan A and plan B, who both are adamant about throwing the football, especially Rodgers. And if you remember, there were reports that Russ and Smith disagreed on
The offensive
how
approach.
they wanted to run the offense. They
Right.
were butting heads. They disagreed on play calls and how they wanted to run the offense. If you remember that first Bengals game, Russ was slinging it. He matched the Bengals' energy
Oh,
and
my
their
God.
offense.
That was the best offense I've seen in a long time.
It's like he said, fuck you, Smith. I'm doing what I'm going to do. I'm doing what we need to do. And the Steelers won that matchup. It was the best the Steelers offense have ever looked in a long time.
I agree.
After that, Smith ran the fucking offense and forget about it. I know, swear jar. Smith ran the offense and forget about it. Never saw any inkling of that offense once again. And
So-
that was evident, especially in the second Bengals game.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is, Smith wants to run the offense one way, running the football. He's adamant about that.
Well, Tomlin.
But Tomlin, if you remembered, he sat Fields because Fields wasn't good enough through the air. He wasn't good enough in the passing attack. Hence why he went with Russ. He chose Russ because he wanted more gain in the passing attack.
But he doesn't like throwing the football.
But he doesn't like throwing the football. But Smith wants to run the football. But if you acquire Aaron Rodgers, you don't think that there's going to be disagreement again between Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith about how they want to run the offense, or Russell Wilson at that? Do you want to run that back again on offense?
I'd rather not run back any of them.
But it's like, pick your poison. But then that makes me question exactly how the hell do you want to run the offense?
Well, you know how they want to run the offense.
You want to run the offense by running the football, but you're going to bring in two quarterbacks who are adamant about passing the football while you have an OC that's adamant about running the football. Nobody's going to be on the same page, which speaks disaster for the offense.
You're not wrong.
That's just my point of view. That's just the way in my opinion, that's how I see things.
That's why all I really care about this year in terms of the quarterback situation, get the cheapest bridge possible. I don't care who starts. It could be Joe Flacco. It could be Jameis Winston.
But it
could be a third. It could be a day 3 rookie. I don't care.
This is the situation that the Steelers have put them in. Instead of committing to Fields and giving him the contract that the Jets gave him and saying, Fields, let's see what you can do. Let's see what upside you can bring to this team after sitting behind Russ. And at that time, when Fields was traded to the Steelers after Russ was signed, you and I thought that Steelers had a plan and a long-term vision in mind. Now we don't know if that's going to happen. We thought the vision was that Fields was going to sit.
Obviously not. Fields is gone.
Well, yeah. We thought Fields was going to sit behind Russ, and the Steelers were going to try to go with Fields, give him a 1-year prove-it deal, maybe a 2-year deal, and obviously that didn't happen.
So what are you saying?
That's what we thought at the time.
Well, what are you saying?
Well, I'm saying is the Steelers screwed themselves big time.
I mean, no matter what, it was going to be a bridge.
It was going to be a bridge. It was going to be a bridge, but they screwed themselves because now they're going to be in a boat where both quarterbacks, whether it's Rodgers or Wilson, it's both of them at this point, They're going to be screwed on offense because they're not going to agree with their OC.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's obvious. Russ and Smith don't have, the agreement offensively on what they want to do, and Rodgers bitches about everything. He disagrees with every OC he's ever had. So I get what you're saying.
Yes.
So what you're saying is they should have kept Fields to prevent this disagreement from a quarterback standpoint.
Not just a disagreement, but how they want to run the offense with mobility at the quarterback position.
Then just
That
trade
could have
for,
aided in
then
that.
just trade for Joe Milton.
That would be the backup plan now since Fields is no longer here. They could do that.
What if they do
I would
both?
highly
What if they
advise
do both?
that.
What if they sign Rodgers or Russ and then trade for Joe Milton? Because then Milton's your backup.
Well, then you put in Joe Milton for rundowns, exactly how you would use Fields packages whenever we would see them, which was rarely.
Yeah.
But when you would see them, that's when you would implement Joe Milton and his mobility.
Screw it.
You would get him in there.
Screw it.
I'm not opposed to that. But my concern is the disagreement between the OC and the quarterbacks. After what was reported about Russ and Smith, and of course how A-Rod is.
Dude, I am so disengaged right now. I don't care about the disagreements about the
But
quarterbacks.
that's only gonna be bad things happening on the field
Good.
and in the locker room.
Good, because then you know who gets the blame? Tomlin.
Well, as he should. As he should. This is what he fucking deserves for putting them in this predicament. This is their fault. This is the Steelers' fault. If this happens, it's their fault.
It's their fault in general. But I'm not stressing over all that because either way it was gonna be a bridge. You know what I mean?
It's just the way that they handle business. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
The way they handle the quarterback position, the way that they handle business, the way that they handle the offense. They literally don't know what they're doing.
Well, I agree with that.
That's what I'm trying to get
I'm
at.
just saying I'm not tripping about all that because at this point I don't care who's the quarterback. It was gonna be a bridge regardless.
I understand
No matter
that.
if Fields or not.
I understand that. I acknowledge
I'm
that.
not worried about Fields no more. He's in the past. He's gone.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's a matter. It doesn't matter if it's unfortunate or not. He's gone. So I'm focused on Rodgers or Russ now, or whoever else is available. Whatever happens, happens.
I'm just throwing it out
This
there.
season's gonna be a fucking throw down anyway.
I'm just throwing it out there because I would not be surprised to see that happen. See reports from the locker rooms about disagreements and whatnot.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for
Joe
you.
on with it too. No offensive line, Russ or Rodgers matters. I mean, I see. I feel like a mobile quarterback. If you guys are worried about the O-line, I feel like a mobile quarterback is necessary. Because then what we saw last year with Russ and that poor O-line, that turned to hell, and Russ didn't have no time. Rodgers especially won't have any time because he's as mobile as a tree.
Very little mobility when it comes to those two.
If I had to choose one, give me Russ. I know I keep going back and forth with it, but I'm looking at all the odds.
So
Give me Russ.
You're running back with Russ, even after the disaster that we've seen.
Fuck it.
You just don't care anymore.
I don't.
You really don't care
I want
anymore.
this to end. This is a long, drawn out quarterback wait. I don't care.
What the Steelers need to understand, they need a true fucking rebuild.
I don't want Rodgers for 90 fucking million. I don't want Rodgers and his damn man-child mentality in the locker room. I don't. At this point, just bring back Russ. Hopefully the line can do him solid, and then Russ can open up the passing game a little bit. That's far-fetched, I know.
Very far-fetched at that.
That's really wishing upon a star, isn't it?
This is a situation that the Steelers have dealt. This is a situation that they're in. They're literally waiting on Rodgers' word.
That's their problem. That's their problem.
Aaron Rodgers is holding the Steelers hot. This is how desperate the Steelers have gone at the quarterback position. They're waiting on Rodgers' fucking word.
Why? You tell me they're wasting an entire free agency period on the word of a 41-year-old quarterback?
Yes, because they think that they're so close to a championship.
They're not.
Instead of acknowledging that they have to rebuild. This is why I wanted Fields to stay here, because they need to acknowledge that they have to go on a rebuild instead of thinking to themselves, oh, we're so close. We're just right there. We just got to get over the hump. What if we just get another aging quarterback that could lead us down the stretch and help us win a playoff game? Yeah, because Russell Wilson really panned out.
He didn't pan out.
Like Aaron Rodgers is going to pan out.
He's not going. None of them's going to pan out.
This is why the Steelers need to acknowledge that they have to understand they need to do a small rebuild.
I don't know how they think...
have to wake up. They have to acknowledge
No,
that.
I agree. I don't know how they could view Rodgers or Russ as legit options to go into a push. You can't be serious. I don't care who your weapons are. You can't be serious.
So they are of the mindset of championship, which is fine. You should always have the mindset of championship. But the problem is they're so blind and delusional. They think they are just so close. They have not won a playoff game since 2016.
Joanne.
We've got 2 words for you.
With a 2, keep Rush, draft Dart behind, build the line, let's go. Here's the problem with Dart. I love Dart, okay? I think Dart is one of my favorite quarterbacks of this draft class, and there's not many to like. Dart is my 2 behind Ward. Dart's not falling out of the first round.
If you're not
You don't think
down with that,
No.
we've got 2 words for you.
He might be the second quarterback off the board for all we know. Over Sanders.
Maybe.
Nick, but worse with a 2. I really think we don't make a deep run. Tom's down. No, we're not. We haven't made a deep run in 8 years.
No.
So why should this team think that they're going to do it again no matter who the quarterback is?
Because they're delusional.
I know they're delusional. They're stupid.
They're
The
going with that.
ownership is idiotic.
They're going down that path instead of going down another path of a small rebuild, of seeing who they could have in a quarterback instead of going with these one-year rentals at quarterback again.
I know. Instead of building the team up and then making a push.
Giving guys opportunities.
Such as making a splash at corner, drafting defensive line early, drafting running back later. Instead of taking a rental at quarterback, a rental at cornerback, and having to worry about fixing those 2 positions next year, when this year should be worried about the bridge at quarterback, building the line, getting the weapons going, fixing up the defense a little bit, like corner, and then next year, all you really got to worry about is quarterback. Instead, they're doing what, they shouldn't be doing, which is having the mentality of going all in. And that's the problem with this free agency. They're wasting all their time on Rodgers.
Yes, they
and
are.
his decision. I can't help but be ultimately disappointed in free agency as a Steelers fan. I feel like we have wasted a lot of opportunities. I feel like we have all the money that we could ever wish for right now, and we're not using most of it. Are they spending money? Yeah, they gave $10 million to Slay. They're giving $10 million to Malik Harrison. They're giving $5 million to Warren. They're giving however much to Gainwell and Echols. They're giving $18 million to DK this year. So yeah, they're spending money, but they're not really building much. They had opportunities to fix things. And the reason they haven't is, one, to acquire comp picks for next year, which I get. And they're waiting on the decision of Aaron Rodgers
Yes, they are.
as he's walking on a beach.
Yeah. And I look back at the DK trade that happened Sunday evening, right? And we were live for it. It was crazy how it happened. And I'm glad that it happened, right? Steelers sent a 2nd-round pick this year to DK, and they signed him to a 5-year, $150 million contract. $33 million average. Largest contract in Steelers history.
I still love the DK trade and what it means for the future. But since then, I can't help but think my hype or my optimism via free agency, so it's up here on Sunday,
Yeah.
is
Oh, we were all on a high, dude.
dwindled down.
We were all on a high, and now we're just going down
I
like,
am
like it's
I
a
am
waterfall.
so far down now because of this Aaron Rodgers news
And
and,
at
the fact that they are waiting on him to make a decision instead of making other moves.
And because when the trade happened, my assumption of the Steelers was that, okay, this is a great first impression before the start of the legal tampering period. They acquired DK. They have so much more cap space still in the cap, and they're going to go out there, be aggressive, and do what they need to do to bolster this team for the future, because that's what this DK trade's about. Not just for this upcoming season, but for the future of this team.
Right.
That's why I'm excited about the DK trade. That's why I have no issue about the DK trade. I love DK Metcalf. Glad he's here. But I thought that the Steelers were going to go out there, spend the cap, spend the money, focus more on other positions for the future, and then just build the team, build the foundation. But they have not done that.
No, they haven't.
They have been a little lackluster. They've improved the depth. They improved the running back depth. They improved the cornerback depth. They've done that. They got another linebacker to fill in the Atlanta Roberts role, right?
Well, they already have that linebacker. This is more the dirty red role, but yeah.
Yeah, that's probably more prone. Yeah, you're probably right. But that's it. They just filled in.
$5 million a year for a special teams guy?
Yes. I don't know about that. Not a good business decision. But
No.
they filled depth. They have not gotten any credible or like long-term starters at that. Nobody for the future.
And I feel like that's what this offseason was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be about building a team that way, whatever you do in 2026 is setting up for that guy to succeed.
Yeah.
And I can't help but think that they're just pushing these positions back even further, such as corner. D-line, again, they're going to go it early, so I get why they didn't make a splash there. I'm fine with that.
They could still sign a D-line. It's very thin right now in free agency. They can still sign one if they desire to, but I can understand D-line, yes. It's stacked. They can get one basically anywhere in the draft.
But
Same with running back.
But the premise is, instead of making a big splash, taking that money for a certain position, they're going to take all that for a rental at quarterback.
Yes, they are. And then because
I can't be happy as a Steelers fan, no matter who the hell is going to be the quarterback.
And you got to look at how they've done in free agency right now. There's still time. They can still make moves. They can still make other signings. That's yet to be determined.
We've got 2 words.
Kenneth Miller with a 5. You guys will apologize when we get Rodgers come here and play great with GP and DK. Rodgers is past his prime. Rodgers is a man, a shell of his former self. I don't think this offense with Rodgers or with Russ improves much. I don't. They want to run the ball, first of all. The line is still struggling. And I don't trust Smith as an OC. And
not to scheme a passing attack and not to have that proper chemistry and communication with Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that's a good mix. I don't think that would bode well in general. With A-Rod as a quarterback and Smith as the OC and just two different point of views and two different perspectives of how they want to run the offense. I think that's just going to speak bad for the offense. I mean, I don't see much of the offense in general.
Me neither.
But if you have if you don't have that communication or that chemistry from a quarterback to a coach, that just speaks disaster. Whether it's a bridge or not. That just speaks disaster. I'm not all for that. And then that's going to feed off on the entire offense.
See, that's why this Rodgers-Russ situation, you know what I mean?
That was my argument earlier.
Yeah.
It's just going to speak bad on the offense. Everybody on the offense is going to feed off of that. They're going to feel off of that. And then, like, the offense is just going to be an ultimate clusterfuck like it usually is. That's my fear. That's my worry.
That's my expectation, no matter who the quarterback is.
Yes.
No matter who the quarterback is.
But you bring a character like Aaron Rodgers in, or you run back with Russ when Russ and Smith didn't exactly, they weren't on the same page 9 times out of 10, reportedly. I just don't know how I feel about that. I don't feel good about it. Let me just say that.
I don't feel good about any of these. That's why I'm
the lack of activity in free agency. And after they trade away the second round pick, they have pick 21. The next pick is, of course, the 3rd round. That's the 83rd pick. You got 21, then you got 83rd. But the Steelers have not been really addressing the needed positions like we all kind of hoped for, that we all kind of expected to a degree.
Well, not the way we wanted them to.
No. So you have that long wait of 21 and 83.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
Jawan with a 5. How are we going to handle 2 head cases with ego problems? 1st to 14, and who is wide receiver 1? Wide receiver 1 is DK. You don't pay a receiver $150 million to not be the one. Come on.
Yeah.
He's the one.
But back to the argument. 21, pick 83, right? That is if they don't trade back. I would feel like that is more ideal to trade back and get another day 2 pick out of it.
I agree.
That could really depend on who's available on the board. That's as far as defensive line goes, running back, maybe cornerback, maybe another position.
They're not taking corner, dude.
I hope not. I hope it's not quarterback. I hope the guy's not quarterback.
It better not be quarterback.
But you got 21-83. I think it's ideal to trade back. But if they don't, that does concern me a little bit because of the positions that they haven't addressed yet.
Well, here's how I'm viewing it. We already knew they were going to go into the draft having to address running back and defensive line.
Yes.
Those were locks. Corner was kind of up in arms depending on what they did in free agency. And they addressed it. Not the way we wanted them to. I'm not a fan of it entirely, but they addressed it. So corner's on the back burner now. So D-line and running back will be the first 2 picks. Any other position, like quarterback, is a huge mistake.
That's my fear. because of the situation at quarterback, because the Steelers didn't have a proper plan and set at quarterback, will they be desperate, or do they feel desperate to select a quarterback at 21?
Well, first, one of these or both of these are going to have to fall out of place. So if Rodgers goes somewhere else like the Giants or the Vikings or retires, and then Russ, who's visiting the Browns, and then the Giants tomorrow night, he's already met with the Titans. If he goes elsewhere, then yeah, they might get desperate. Otherwise, they'll just bring either guy back, depending on who decides where to go first.
So you think if A-Rod or Russ stays, you don't think they go quarterback round 1?
They fucking better not.
Because that would not surprise me one bit.
I would be one pissed off Steelers fan.
That would not surprise me one bit.
I would be
because you would have the veteran in there, and then you would draft a rookie early on and just have him sit. That's not what I would do.
No.
Not in this quarterback group. Not in this class. I would not do that. I feel like a quarterback in the first round would be a fucking reach. And then that would push another position back because you don't have the second round pick. You invest that in DK. Again, no problem with the DK trade. Zero issue. But if you go quarterback first round, then you're pushing defensive line back, though it's stacked. You're pushing running back, though it's stacked. But one of those picks, if you don't trade back, one of those picks has to be the third round pick. And then in the fourth round, you got to address that position, and then so on and so forth. The rest will be depth.
Well, that's why right now I'm thinking D-line round 1, running back round 3. Or trade back, D-line round 1, running back round 2, and whatever round 3, whatever.
Yeah, I would say that's ideal. Running back or defensive line round 1, whatever you don't take round 1, you take round 3 if they don't trade back.
I agree. That's what they should do right now. Those are the two biggest holes on the roster.
But my concern is that they could go quarterback. Or who's to say that they go cornerback if a top corner so happens to fall to the Steelers' lap at 21?
I just can't see them doing it.
I'm just throwing it out there.
They've already brought in the bodies. Why would they bring in another one?
Because they felt their laps and it would be best player available.
I agree. But that's not how the Steelers are probably thinking right now. They're thinking, hey, we ain't going to worry about corner for the year.
I'm putting all options on the table right here. I'm throwing everything out there.
I'm taking corner off the table.
You think that?
Oh, yeah. I'm taking corner off the table. I don't think the Steelers are thinking about corner.
Man, see, I'm more of an open mind right here.
See, I was, but now with corner, I don't think so. So I think they're going to look at the defensive line, running back, or corner, or quarterback.
I'm not shutting I'm shutting neither of those positions down as of right now.
I'm shutting down corner.
That might just be my method of thinking. Maybe I just think differently.
No, I agree with exactly how you think. I'm thinking of the way the Steelers are thinking. I'm taking cornerback off.
And I can understand that.
Because that's how I think the Steelers are thinking. It's not what I think, what I would do personally. It's what I think the Steelers are thinking themselves. They are going to take cornerback off the board because they brought in Slay. They brought in Echols. They're thinking to themselves, we don't need corner no more. They do, but that's not how they're thinking.
Right.
In my opinion.
I understand that completely.
Which is why I say D-line and running back. And I do think they keep quarterback open-minded. As much as I don't like it.
I'm just trying to stay more open to any and all possibilities at this point. Especially now that you don't have a second-round pick and the lack of activity in free agency. The lack of investing into the future in free agency.
Well, if you include a trade-back scenario, then yeah, you keep corner absolutely
which is
open.
Why I feel like in the first round, it's the most ideal situation if you're the Steelers.
Until it happens, I'm thinking of just first round and third round.
So you think they just select primarily defensive line, and then go running back third round?
That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm not rolling out a trade back option, but as of right now, where we stand with the picks we have currently, that's where I'm at. Defensive line and running back round 1 or vice versa.
Okay.
In round 3.
Okay. I just think it would be ideal for them to trade back, get another day 2 pick to replace your second round pick that you invested for DK, just so that you can address another needed position.
I agree with you entirely. And I don't rule that out for the Steelers because Khan loves to trade back.
Yes.
That's how we got Darnell. He traded back with the Panthers that year and got Darnell at 90-something.
Yeah.
So I'm not ruling that out. In fact, I think that is most ideal. But it really all depends who's there. If Harmon's there, if Grant's there, if Nolan's there, I can't see them trading back.
Yeah.
If those guys are all somehow off the board, I think they absolutely trade back.
And I know it's early to tell. We still got a little over a month until the NFL draft. I understand it's very, very early to tell. You can't predict the future, obviously. But I'm just throwing all options out there.
Right.
That's why I'm throwing it all out here right now, live. I'm just throwing them out there. I'm just, keeping all options on the table.
For the draft.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's get back to Russ and Rodgers. Let's say Russ signs with the Browns tomorrow or the Giants tomorrow. And Rodgers retires, goes to the Giants, goes to the Vikings.
Yeah.
The Steelers are without Rodgers or Russ. Both options are off the table. Now what?
Now what?
What do we do? What do we do?
Mason Rudolph.
The Steelers suck.
Yes, they do, Rocky.
Self-made said. Appreciate you.
Well, looking at the available free agent quarterbacks right now, if it's not A-Rod or
God.
Wilson,
Well, let's see.
we're going to dive into this again.
Well, let's see. The chat's saying, Paper Poll saying trade for Malik Willis. I don't hate that.
If you're not down
I'm not
with
opposed.
that, we've got 2 words for you.
Somber with a 5. Appreciate you, bro. Do you think they'll trade any comp picks to get a second back for this year? Or do you think they're saving those for 2026 to draft a guy in Pittsburgh? They're saving all those for 2026. They can't get those.
They have to be.
They can't get those comp picks until next year anyway.
But it's got to be what Khan's thinking. If he's a true long-term thinker and whatnot, that's got to be it. It has to be, right?
He's a long gamer. That's his thinking. That's why he didn't make any splashes. That's the only thing that makes sense. That's got to be the only thing that makes sense. I understand it. I still think they could have made a splash here and there, but I get it. We'll see if that's actually the case. That's the only thing that makes sense. The only thing that's kind of justifiable. So Paper Pro says trade for Willis. Digital Dust says yes. Defensive tackle in the first round, Grant Harmon, Nolan, and running back in the third best available. That's where I'm at, Digital. Tim Robinson says get Rudy. I'm sold. B. Mills says draft and sign Mason. Johan says Rudolph. We may need to be thinking Colin Kaepernick a call at this point. Bro, we're so desperate.
Oh, no.
Rodgers,
I didn't think I'd hear that.
Remix says Rodgers will be signed. Tim Robinson says get Tyler Shuck. I like him day 3. Day 3, I would gladly select him.
Yeah.
Jay says Dirty Minshew. Digital Dust says Milton, Rudolph, Dart. See, I like Dart, but not in the first, man. I'm gonna stick my flag on that mountain. Elite Division Sports says go get Joe Milton. Alex says Skylar Thompson.
He's the only quarterback we have.
Tim Robinson says Murray, Kyler Murray. I don't know if there's any legitimate life to that rumor. If there is, the Steelers should be calling. But I don't know if there's any legit life there. What about Ryan Tannehill for 1 year?
Oh, man. Just a year later, huh?
I thought he retired.
I ain't hear nothing about that. Here, I'll search it up right now. Didn't the Steelers actually look into him last year?
I don't know. That was our fear, though. I'm happy says a lot can change between now and draft day. Remix says to draft in Pitt next year. He is definitely keeping all his picks next year. Maybe use them to trade up. Jacob Madoc with a 199. I kind of want Nico in 2026. He's really growing on me.
Yeah, from Tennessee, right?
Yes.
Yep.
He's really growing on me.
By the way, Tannehill's still a free agent.
Fuck. McCord or 8-9 at best. Kyle McCord, day 3. Kyle McCord, day 3. I'll take him too.
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker from Detroit. I'd rather Milton. They're almost similar, but Milton's a little better. Deals will be made draft night too. You're right. I think they are too cheap and won't get Russell Rodgers, and Tomlin will think quarterback doesn't matter and he can win with defense. Listen, we're very critical of Tomlin, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
He's won without any legitimate quarterbacks before. Nothing crazy, nothing major, nothing of anything of proudness, but
it's enough over 500.
He's won without.
Down with that, we've got 2 words.
Somber with a 2. Shuck 2026 4th for Milton. Battle it out. Screw it. I think a 2026 5th is good enough for Joe Milton.
Dude, at this point, the free agency pool is not good, dude.
Jake Browning. Who was that? Bring in Ryan Finley. Remember him?
I'd rather not.
You remember he beat us on Monday night? What's he doing nowadays? What's up, Ryan Finley? What's you doing? Where's he at? He's not in the league, I can tell you that.
Actually, as a matter of fact, who's that one?
He hasn't been in the league since 2020. Oh. No.
That was one we lost to him, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. We lost that.
Who's that one quarterback from the what is it, the UFL or whatever?
Are we really looking at UFL quarterbacks?
Luis Perez.
Would you trade Pickens for Milton in round 2? A second round pick for Pickens?
I mean, but then again, who's your wide receiver 2?
That's what that round 2 pick would come into play with.
That's still opening up another hole.
Yeah. But you might have to replace it anyway because you don't know if you're going to get Pickens back. Is he worth the $30 million a year? Is he ever going to mature? Can he behave on the field? These are questions that come into play.
Would it depend on Roman Wilson's future
Yes, it would.
and his progression?
Yes, it would. At this point, I'd rather have Geno Smith. Me too. Maybe not for that contract, but me too. Trade Pickens, sign Cup. These are options. I don't think Pickens gets traded. I'm not ruling it out. I just don't see it happening. Sign Brett Favre. Man, I'd rather sign
A pair of Wrangler jeans, bro.
I'd rather sign Tim Tebow. Oh God. Jake Browning.
Josh Rosen.
Draft safety Nick Emanwari in the first round. Generational talent, says Rob Lightfoot. I really like him. South Carolina is fleshing out some studs lately, man. They really are. They have been for years, actually.
Oh, another defensive tackle. just
Hendall
got picked
Hinton.
up.
That's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Where's can we borrow Antoine Randall? Let him play quarterback.
He's with the Bears now.
I know. Let him play quarterback. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, bro. I legit.
I could tell you're out of it.
Bro, I am so out of it. Also, we have contract details on Kenneth Gainwell
Okay.
because I just updated X. Steelers signing Kenneth Gainwell to a 1-year, $1.79 million deal with $620K guaranteed. It's a hell of a cheap deal for a running
Not
back.
bad.
Free.
Not bad.
Now, cut Patterson and Gainwell. You're now the 3.
Case in point. Patterson he no longer needs to be here.
He is not needed.
He serves no purpose.
He is not needed. Where's Landry Jones? Okay, we're desperate, but I don't want him.
No.
I don't want Landry Jones, bro. I can't believe I had to watch him. Should we draft Scatterbill? I love Scatterbill. He might fall to the 3rd.
You know what? At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers were to reach out to Gardner Minshew.
The problem with Scatterbill is he's obviously not fast.
We've got 2 words for
Albert
you.
Hernandez with a 199. I'm going to goon every hour till Rodgers signs. Dude, at the end of the day, I honestly think that he's going to retire.
So you're saying you think his decision is retirement?
Yeah.
Then the Steelers are really
Why
going to
is he taking all this time? Why is he waiting all this time to make a damn decision? Unless he's seriously thinking about retirement. And I think he's going to retire. I don't know when,
Me
but
personally, I think A-Rod should retire.
so do I.
I feel like after last year, I think that's it. And he actually went out on a pretty solid performance against the Dolphins, the Jets' last game.
Rodgers, man.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Guys, I just want us to sign a court. I don't care who it is. Who's out there? You're looking at the free agents. Who's out there?
Yeah, here's a free agent.
Let's have fun with this.
So again, it's not A-Rod or Russ. So hypothetically, the free agents out there: Trey Lance,
No.
Taylor Heineke, Drew Lock, Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, Case Keenum, Mason Rudolph, Cooper Rush, Kyle Allen, Teddy Bridgewater, Gardner
Dude.
Minshew,
Oh my God.
Bailey Zapp, Desmond Ritter.
Kyle Trask, he just resigned with the Bucks a couple hours ago.
Yeah, that's not happening. It's not a good
Bro,
pull,
I
folks.
am being honest when I say this. Sign Mason, trade for Milton. I don't care. I don't care. Have them flesh it out. Whoever the hell is the quarterback is the quarterback.
What harm can it do?
At the end of the day, it's a bridge, and Joe Milton would be your new backup for the next couple of years. That's how I view it. I don't care anymore. How bad can it get? I have zero expectations for the season anyway. Let's just have fun with it.
I mean, I did as well.
It's cheap.
I'm-
It's someone with a strong arm. Someone composed in the pocket. Go for it.
Literally, I'm going into next or this upcoming season just trying to take whatever positive I can get. I don't think the Steelers can make a push. I don't think they're anywhere close to a Super Bowl push whatsoever. They may think so. They're delusional. Russ ain't going to lead you. A-Rod's not going to lead you. Nobody's going to lead you.
No.
They need to acknowledge that they have to they need to have a small rebuild, but they will never admit it, nor will they ever do it.
I don't
which is
know.
unfortunate.
I don't know why they can't comprehend that. Well, what they're doing in free agency just speaks to me like these guys are delusional.
Big time.
But bring back Kyle Allen. I would. If you want to make him the backup, I would for sure. Why not trade back from 21 to pick 30? Get a second rounder for that and take Jackson Dart and a running back. If Jackson Dart can last to the second, that's more acceptable. Dart at 30, I don't mind if we get a pick back. If we trade back and can still get Dart, I don't mind that as much as just taking him in the first and having no extra pick. I wouldn't mind that.
If they feel they can't get Dart later on, I wouldn't be surprised. But that's as long as they trade back and they do get another day 2 pick.
That's the only way I can accept Jackson Dart in the first.
Because I'm not taking him at 21.
I like Dart, but I don't like him enough for a first round pick.
I like his fundamentals. I love his deep ball. I love his arm talent. He's still got some work to do.
But if he
is not a top 25 pick.
No. If the Steelers can trade back and still get him, that's more acceptable if they take him in the first. It's a little more acceptable for me personally.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people want us to take Dart in the first. I'm not there. It's not the year for it. There's too many needs, but if you can get an extra pick and still address the needs necessary, by all means.
Yeah.
But that would mean Dart would have to sit the whole year or the majority of the year. He's not your week 1 starter, and I'm not starting him till probably like week 10, week 11.
If that. I just don't think it's ideal to draft a quarterback in general.
Not this year. It's not the year to do it.
But my concern is that they will because they don't have a plan at quarterback. They literally don't know what to do. They are just waiting on A-Rod's word. They didn't have a plan going into free agency.
That would be
not a proper one at that.
That would be a Kenny situation 2.0. Hopefully not as bad as Kenny, but the way they selected Kenny, it would be Kenny 2.0. And they can't afford to do that this year.
No, they can't.
They're not set. As a team, they're not set. There's too many holes. There's way too many concerns to take a quarterback right now. You got to fix everything to set him up. That's for 2026. This year is all about setting him up. That's why I'm a little disappointed for agency. And that's why I'm not sold on any quarterback in the first round this year. A day 3 pick, by all means. You're not going to hear a peep out of me. Fine, I don't care who it is. For depth purposes, for a future backup, I'm cool with it. Just not in the first. There's too many needs to address.
At this point, I really don't know what the Steelers are thinking. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know what their long-term plan is. I really don't know what the Steelers are doing. This is why I'm throwing all the options out there like I did earlier. Like, I don't know what they're doing. What are they doing?
Right.
It's frustrating. It's really frustrating just trying to think it all out.
I live in Cali and saw Aaron Rodgers at Planet Fitness on a treadmill wearing a Steelers hat. This is William D.
Run the ball!
I don't believe you. Matthew, member of 27 months. Appreciate you, Matt. If Russ or Rodgers are gone, who would you guys pick?
This man becomes a Steeler again. We will wear this man's jersey every single week.
As long as he's starting. If he's starting.
Even if he's not starting.
If he's starting.
I don't care. We'll put up the...
Dude, he doesn't...
Do we gotta put up a fucking sign again?
He's...
Bring back Mason.
He doesn't even have to start. I'm not saying bring him in to start. If he has to, so be it. Who does number 2 work for? That's a great...
Great job,
I
Jay.
understand that reference.
Oh, yeah, totally get that, Jay.
Sign Tom Brady? Nah.
He wants nothing to do with us. I wouldn't be surprised.
Who?
Mason.
Yeah,
I'm sure Summer means Mason.
Yeah, because, I don't know if it's true or not. Apparently, the Steelers reached out to Mason to see if he would entertain coming back or gauge his interest in coming back. I wouldn't be surprised if Mason Rudolph laughed on the phone and hung up. The virtual middle finger. Or the verbal middle finger, rather.
I suppose.
Wow, 63% of you guys would rather Russ or Rodgers than Russ.
Do you run it back with Russ? Or do you try out A-Rod?
See, again, I keep going back and forth with it. I really don't want to run back with Russ because we've been there, done that. I don't know if I can go another year with Russ. But Rodgers and his character, his man-child attitude, his entitledness.
Which I don't think would be a great mix in the locker room, on the field, and with the coaching.
Steelers really picked the 2 worst options.
Yes, they did.
And I'm not even tripping over Fields leaving anymore because, again, he was always going to be the bridge. I would have been a little more excited if they got him back. Just a little bit.
I always go back to it. It would give me something to look forward to. See what Fields could have brought.
I
With the
agree.
mobility, with what he learned from Russ. Like, I'm getting over it. My thing is,
I'm over it.
My thing is the Steelers should have had a proper plan to set at quarterback.
Well, here's the truth of it. We didn't lose anything with Fields.
No, in the end we
We
did.
lost nothing.
And we gained a 6th-round pick because we swapped late-round picks with a DK pick.
Yeah.
So, yes, ultimately we lost nothing.
I just wish that if they knew that Fields was going to walk, they would have had a better backup plan. Better than Russ.
That's why I'm frustrated about this whole situation. That's why I question, what are you doing? Because they didn't have a proper plan and set.
That's why I say trade for Joe Milton. It's a similar skill set to Fields. He has a strong arm. He works with the RPOs. He works with the play action.
So it's like, is that going to be their backup plan?
Screw it.
Is this A-Rod thing their backup plan? It has to be, right?
Screw it. What if Joe Milton's like another Bridgewater or like another Brissett where he's just a backup, a solid backup?
Alex Swanson says Taysom Hill.
At quarterback?
I mean, he can throw it. He's capable of throwing it. I don't know.
He's not a quarterback.
He's not. He's a tight end. He's a tight end that can move it around.
Russ not. Oh, I lost it. A bell member for 22 months. I think I speak for everyone when I say, what the fuck? Yeah.
Literally. WTF.
TJ Black says, Kyle Juszczyk potential to Pittsburgh rumor heating up. Yeah, I saw that. I saw you tag us that on Twitter. I don't know if that's legit or not, or if there's anyone that's just kind of like putting something out there. I don't know. Apparently, Kyle Juszczyk might have a visit with the Steelers. If they want an improved fullback, absolutely.
I would make that move. I would. The guy's a baller. Probably the best fullback in the game.
Right.
He's better than Connor Hayward.
Well, let's discuss the remaining free agents. So you have Juszczyk, if that's even legit. You got Cooper Kupp, which I'm all in for at this point because whoever the quarterback's going to be, you might as well give him as many weapons as possible. Bring in Kupp. Asante Samuel Jr. is still out there. I doubt they go another corner. I doubt they pick up 3 corners in free agency. But for someone to really work in the slot and then bounce outside when Slay leaves after 2025 to solidify a corner for the future, I would love Asante Samuel for sure. Give him a nice 2-year deal. For a defensive line, there's not many out there. Again, most of the elite guys or most of the big fish are gone. Milton Williams got over $100 million by the Patriots. Bobby Brown's gone. Levi Onwuzurike, who I really wanted to sign with the Lions. There's no one out there. Poona Ford and Tierra Tart signed elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Tershawn Wharton signed elsewhere. All the options gone. So there's Charles Omeniwu. There's Derek Nottie. There's Jerry Tillery. That's it. So if they want to bring in depth, there you go. But that tells me they're going D-line round 1, which I love. In terms of guard, listen, maybe this is just me wishing upon a star here. Maybe they still pick up a guard in free agency. I know they got Sayamalu, but you ultimately will going to have to replace him anyway. Do they pick up a guard and then cut Sayamalu? Tevin Jenkins is still out there. Mekhi Becton's still out there. I thought they would have been signed day 1.
Yeah.
They're still out there. I'm hearing the Bengals are eyeing Tevin Jenkins.
I mean, the Bengals, they got rid of Kappa, Alex Kappa.
Really?
Yeah. They released him like a couple weeks ago.
That's news to me.
Yeah. So, yeah, they need a guard badly. Ain't Kevin Zeitler still out there? I think he still is.
He is. Tony Daniel with a 2. Sign A-Rod, trade Pickens for a first, and draft Genty. If you can get a first for Pickens, you trade him.
If a team's willing to trade that away, I mean...
Imagine 2 first-round picks.
You're not going to say no to that, and that would make up for the loss of the second rounder.
Yes. You kidding me?
You're not going to say no to a first.
You kidding me?
For George Pickens. I don't think that happens, though.
If you... Oh, Kevin Zeitler signed with the Titans?
Oh, did he? Oh, he did.
Update from Post-Gazette says Aaron's decision is not about money. Then what is it? You want to play or do you not want to play? Make up your mind.
Here it is again. Jerry Dulac. Apparently, the delay in the Aaron Rodgers discussion with the Steelers is not about money. The offer has been made. It's about Rodgers taking his good old time, I like how he put it there, about making a decision.
You had how many months to think of this, bro?
You were eliminated badly out of the playoffs, and you had an early start point on what to do with a quarterback. And here we are. Still talking about it. Still trying to figure it out. Still trying to break it down.
Or Aaron Rodgers. The Jets were so awful. He didn't think like halfway through the year, damn, maybe I should retire next year. It's like he wants everything to circle around. He wants all the attention around him because he's literally the biggest named free agent remaining. He wants all the attention about him. Like when you open up ESPN tomorrow or
Twitter,
something, right? First Take, whatever you watch. The first thing they're going to talk about tomorrow is Aaron Rodgers.
We hope social media is going to be about Aaron Rodgers. Where's he going to go? What's he going to do? Will he retire?
Like, what is he doing, bro?
Will he go to the Vikings? I don't know. I just wanted to end.
So do I. At this point,
we are gone.
I don't care who's the quarterback. I want this wait to end. I want the delay to stop. Just give us a decision. And whoever the quarterback is, whether you like it or not, I'm riding with him for the year. No matter what, yes.
No
matter who it is. I don't care.
I just want the suffering to stop.
Or better yet, why won't the Steelers make a decision? Like they're sitting back on their hands signing depth pieces, bargain binning in free agency, right? Why don't they make a decision to quarterback? Instead of giving A-Rod a time frame to make a decision before the Steelers say, hey, we're going to make a decision, do something. Start exploring trades. Start talking to other free agents.
Or give Aaron Rodgers a limit. Like, listen, this is the offer. We want you here for some reason. We want you here. Here's the offer. This is the limit, though. This is the time limit. You got to let us know by then or we're moving on. Because we can't be waiting all damn night.
It's kind of...
we can't be waiting all this time.
It's like the Steelers... Because we saw with Ayuk. Now we're seeing it with Aaron Rodgers. They're getting toyed around by these players.
Yes, because this is their main priority. They literally have no other priority but this. They're relying on this. Why? Why put yourself in this boat?
They're getting played with, dude. It's kind of humiliating. I don't know, man. Vikings get A-Rod and we trade for McCarthy. I still think McCarthy's going to be their quarterback.
The Vikings would not trade away McCarthy.
If anything, he sits for another year or half a year. Sign Rodgers and Cup. Draft Nolan and Judkins. Grab the DB from Kentucky 4th round. Would Judkins fall to the 3rd? That's a steal.
If he falls, that's a mega steal.
That's a steal. Otherwise, I don't hate that. And by the DB in Kentucky, you talking Hairston? Is he going to fall to the 4th?
Nah, people are talking about him being a first.
Really?
Yeah. He could rise to the 1st round.
Vikings have no interest in Rodgers and are turning to JJ. Oh, so they're out on the Rodgers sweepstakes.
Is that legit? Is that legit? Is that recent? When I searched up Vikings, Harrison Smith stayed with them.
You know, I do believe that. I think they're going to go with the young cat. Why would they want Rodgers? How does that fit Kevin O'Connell's scheme?
It might not fit him, but I'll tell you what, Kevin O'Connell can get the most out of his quarterbacks.
Sure.
He did it with Cousins. He did it with Darnold. He was able to get Darnold over $100.5 million.
Yeah.
So O'Connell can get the best out of his quarterbacks.
O'Connell should get like 30% of his contract.
So it's like in that stance then why would O'Connell not want to go with McCarthy?
Good question.
If he can get the most out of his quarterbacks. Just go with McCarthy. Just see what the young stud can do.
Dude, I still can't believe Rodgers is out there with a damn blanket on the beach.
I thought it was a towel at
Blanket
first.
on the beach, blanket on the beach. I like to take walks and with a blanket on the beach. Rodgers isn't signing a 1 year. Oh, he's gonna sign a 1 year deal. He ain't signing for 2 years.
He's not signing 2 years. If the Steelers give him a 2-year flipping deal.
Well, that's the rumored contract. 2 year, 90 mil, 40 million guaranteed. That's the rumor. That's the projection. That's not what's going to happen. That's not his asking price. That's just a projection from Pro Football Talk.
Well, that better not be the outcome.
If that is what Rodgers is asking for, if I'm the Steelers, I'm saying, yeah, goodbye.
Have fun on the beach,
Good
A-Rod.
talk.
Go ahead.
Good talk.
Listen to Forever Young. Why not?
Yeah.
Like you wish you were.
Good talk. Yeah, hard pass.
No.
Yo, Russ, let's ride. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, the Steelers still have $48 million in cap space left.
Well, most of that's going to go to the quarterback.
Great.
Just saying.
Great.
Just saying.
This is the Steelers thinking.
That's why they're all banking on that money. That's all going to a quarterback.
They rather try to win now when they're not even close to winning anything than build for the future.
No guarantee second year. So you're saying everything would be guaranteed in the first year? So you're going to pay Rodgers $40 million guarantee in 1 year?
And then you'd be left with $8 million. Yeah, close it up.
I'm good on both of them. Run it with Shuck and Milton, just stating what I've seen on Twitter. I don't hate it, dude. I don't. I'm just trying to think of the cheapest option. The season's not no Super Bowl run. It's not. Think of the cheapest option and start building everything up. Like y'all said, they just need to face facts. We aren't going to win now. Start trading older pieces and acquiring picks for a semi-rebuild. I wish. I really do.
They won't do it. But the crazy thing about it is, despite whoever was going to be the quarterback was going to be a bridge, that's another year wasted of Hayward and TJ Watt.
Unless you strike the lottery on the rookie quarterback and then you can go to a chip with a rookie quarterback like the Bengals did with Burrow, like the Chiefs did with Mahomes, like the Eagles did with Hurts, like the 49ers did with Purdy.
Man.
But what do all those have in common? They got offensive schemes that succeed.
Yes.
We don't.
Dude, we could have Josh Allen on this offense. It wouldn't make a lick of a difference. Because the offensive scheme would just not it's not capable of winning.
Well, they don't like throwing the ball. That's evident. They don't throw towards the middle of the field. Why? Because it's so dangerous for turnovers. Which is why I don't think Winston's going to be the quarterback. Winston's a slinger, but too many turnovers. That would give Tomlin...
No, Winston is not being a Steeler.
Tomlin would have a heart attack by how many turnovers Winston forces on the field.
No, he's not even looking his direction whatsoever.
Tomlin is safe football.
Winston
You
can
think
go.
he's going to bring in a quarterback that turns the ball over?
Winston can go to the Giants or the Titans for all I care. He's not being a Steeler. I would be shocked if Winston would be the Steeler. It's not him. It's not him. Tomlin would rather look toward Joe Flacco's direction and bring his old ass in.
I don't hate that. Because who cares anymore?
I know you don't. You literally have zero
Dude,
care.
I don't. Does anyone care who the quarterback is? Like, do you guys literally... You know where I'm at?
You know, Ben, you said you still have a couple throws in you
No.
in that one vid.
No. No, I saw Ben's last year.
I know,
It wasn't fun.
I know, I'm joking.
It wasn't fun.
I know.
It wasn't fun. Third interception in its second quarter. Tomlin would perish. Oh my God, Tomlin.
His big bulging eyes on the sideline.
I would do it just to hear his halftime speech.
Oh yeah, James is just gonna stop throwing the damn ball. You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
Yeah, we gotta protect the football.
Thanks, guys. Oh my God, that'd be funny though. That would be funny.
Throwing turnovers is like throwing spaghetti at a wall, man. You take the risk, and then you're just gonna have to deal with the benefits. You have to deal with the consequences.
There's a fine line between drinking wine and squashing grapes.
I'm still trying to figure out what the hell that means.
Digital does. Quarterback purgatory sucks. It's going to be 3 years in a row with a completely new room.
Oh my God, you're right.
Great job, Tomlin. They have no idea.
Well, you got put down in the front office too. I mean, he also
not just Tomlin, but yes,
he has some say too.
yes.
Like I like Khan.
I mean, Tomlin has a lot of power.
Like I like Khan. I'm trying to see his vision.
Tomlin has a lot of power, but yeah, I mean, it's just go like maybe they just don't know how to evaluate the quarterback position.
They don't.
Rooney don't. Maybe Khan just doesn't. Maybe he's still trying to figure that out.
Well, we don't know. He didn't draft Kenny.
No, he didn't.
He was in the scouting room, but he didn't personally select him.
Yeah, so who knows with Khan at this point? We don't know.
I'm trying to believe his vision.
And Tomlin, I mean, like, since Big Ben retired, the names have just been
Awful.
terrible.
Awful.
It's been a cycle of backups.
It's been awful.
And aging veterans.
No, Kenny does not like to compete, but he might. Can you imagine Russ and Kenny finally being teammates, but for the Browns? That would be hilarious.
It'd be the Browns' problem.
If I see a tweet tomorrow, or a post, whatever, that says Russell Wilson is signing a 1-year contract with the Cleveland Browns, I'm gonna laugh my ass off because him and Kenny just can't escape each other, can they? Or Kenny can't escape Russ. Is he gonna request a trade too? He's gonna go to the Browns. I want out. You traded for me. How dare you sign Russ?
You just got traded, Kenny.
Do you think Kyler's realistic? No, I do not. I don't think there's any life to it. I don't think that's logical by the Cardinals.
No.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Now with a third-year head coach, with Marvin Harrison Jr., they just resigned James Conner.
Know Your Opinion says, my source told me A-Rod will sign today. Well, it is officially Thursday, my guys. It is Thursday, my guys.
Is he still on the beach?
I have no idea.
Is he still standing on the beach? He found a bottle with a note in it. Said, "Make up your damn mind."
I hope so.
A little dust on the bottle.
Bro, I don't know. I get that reference, by the way.
Yeah,
That's a good one. I don't know, man. I'm just, like I said, I'm just overall.
I really don't know.
Let's see.
Like, we're waiting this long for news on the quarterback.
We are. Is there any for free agents? Is there any other free agents that you guys would want the Steelers to sign that you think they could? Because they're not done. I would hope they're not done. I think they could still use safety depth. I feel like they could bring in tackle depth, whether that's maybe they draft one. I don't know. But it seems like those are the signings that they're going to make. They're not going to go out and make any blockbuster moves at this point outside of signing a quarterback. I feel like the remainder of their signings is just going to be for depth. Bargain binning, right, is what people are saying.
That could be defensive line depth, just to fill it in, bolster the room a little bit. But I would still imagine defensive line's round one. They basically have their running back depth. They have Warren and Gainwell now. Their cornerback room is basically fulfilled. I would imagine they go out there and look for safety depth. Because it's Ryan Watts, killer bro, but he's a special teams core guy. They really basically have no core backup safety to them right now.
Right.
KZ's gone. He's a free agent. I don't see him coming back. I wouldn't bring him back. I look at other options out there. Who that is, I don't exactly know at this moment.
I don't know.
But I think it'd be ideal to go out there and look for a proper backup safety.
I
Unless they look to draft one, but you're going to rely on 2 rookies, essentially, to be the backup safeties? I wouldn't.
Probably not. Not with the secondary issues that we're having in terms of injuries.
So I think safety depth is another position that they're going to look at. It might be the next move for all I know, if it's not quarterback. Maybe another wide receiver. Maybe they sign another wide receiver if it's not Kupp. Maybe they look for proper outside wide receiver depth because they don't have that right now.
Who's that?
They have Pickens. They have Metcalf. They have the slot guys in Austin and Wilson. They just don't have another outside capable wide receiver depth piece yet.
Oh, maybe they draft somebody.
They could do that. I'd still bring back Skoranek.
So would I.
He's still a free agent. I'd bring him back. I wouldn't hesitate on that.
That's only for special teams, though.
But keep him for special teams purposes. Just make sure that he stays with the team. Keep him on the team. I give him a 2-year contract.
I could see it.
I would do that.
I mean, I don't know who's all out there. I haven't exactly looked. I'm going to look at safety, first of all. Who else is available? Marcus Williams just got cut. Justin Simmons is a free agent. He's not coming in his depth. Julian Blackmon, he's a free agent again?
Yeah, he only stayed 1 year with Indianapolis.
I'd bring him in.
If he's willing to take a backup role, but then again, they kind of rotate their safeties a bit.
What about Jordan Fuller?
I'm not opposed to that. He's used to rotations. He was a Ram, right?
He was, and then he was a Panther.
Okay.
Last year.
I believe he's used to rotations with both teams.
Well, if he's not, he better get used to it.
As a depth guy, I mean, like, he's capable. He wouldn't be a bad option.
There's not a lot of fish out there. There's not, unless they draft someone. But how high are they going to draft?
I don't know. I mean,
there's a couple safeties later on we like. Hunter Wooler from Wisconsin, Malachi Moore from Bama, R.J. Meekins from Clemson later on, just to name a few. Those are the first guys. Those are 3 guys that pop off the top of my head.
We've got 2 words for you.
Tony Daniel
oh, geez.
with a 2. Will Levis. Hard pass.
No, it's the wrong Titan quarterback we're talking about.
Hard pass.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
not a fan. But what I am a fan of is the sponsor of today's live stream. Huge shout out to BetUS Sportsbook Casino for sponsoring with us on this live stream. Cooper Kupp. That's another one I would like. I think we all agree. If there's a free agent I think the Steelers should be signing and should be all over, is Kupp. And I think a lot of you guys would agree. We don't have a quarterback. No one knows who it's going to be. But you give said quarterback, whoever that is, all these weapons. I mean, come on. Just find ways to get the ball out. Find ways to get these receivers the ball. And hopefully we can get something exciting. Something decent. Something that will prevent us from destroying our liver every Sunday.
Yeah, really.
Just throwing it out there. Those are the early odds for Cooper Kupp and his next team. The Steelers are top of the list. I could see the Chargers. I could see the Cowboys. I could see the Patriots. I don't see the Commanders anywhere because they just traded for Debo. I don't know why the Bills aren't on this list, but I'm sure the Bills will be on or will start being talked about more in terms of Kupp because they're a contender. It just makes sense because Josh Allen needs weapons. So I'm going to throw that out there. But if the Steelers want to keep adding weapons for whoever the quarterback's going to be, or if the Steelers are still delusional that they're in a win-now mode, regardless, bring in Kupp. I think we're all fans of that, man. But BetUS has you covered if you guys looking for a new sports book for the upcoming NFL season or for any NFL future odds or for any sports betting needs. They got you covered this year as well. They got you covered on 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 and 125% on your following 2 deposits using that promo code YouTube150 when signing up at BetUS.com. Take advantage of all those great perks from our friends over at BetUS. Huge shout out to them for sponsoring with us on this stream. Just please gamble responsibly.
We've got 2 words for you.
A Bell with a 999. At this point, the scheme sucks. They are afraid of trying anything productive, so why the fuck not? Let's run it back with Mr. Rodgers. It's a wonderful team anyways. Won't you be my quarterback? The Steelers have lost.
Majorly lost, bro.
Wow. Why not dig Super Diva Squad? If you want to get an absolute crash out head case at receiver trio, why not? If you want to completely just blow up the receiver room.
Hey, he used to wear 14.
Yeah, I don't know what's with these free agents we're signing wearing the number 14.
DK, Pickens, Gainwell. Diggs wore 14. Why not? At this point, why not call up Neil O'Donnell, huh? He wore 14. Actually cursed that number for a little bit.
Sure did.
What about Sammy Coates?
Oh, stop.
All right, now I'm really going down the
You're
bad
going
path.
down that path.
Yeah. All right, I apologize. Let's not go down that path.
Lama Swede was 14. Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
We don't have enough cap space if we paying a quarterback. Well, if we don't pay Russ or Rodgers, we might. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
What about Uncle Rico? I mean, how much went back and tossed it over those mountains?
He's got good form.
What team actually does this? We don't have a quarterback. Dude, I don't know. I don't know.
Normally, it'd be one of them badly run organization football teams.
What free agent are you going to miss the most?
Oh, what was the question again?
What free agent are you going to miss the most that left? So we lost Fields, we lost Dan Moore, we lost Mike Williams, we lost Dante Jackson, we lost Najee Harris, we lost James Daniels, we lost Landon Roberts, which all are very replaceable. All have been replaced, all will be replaced.
Yeah, the players that were signed off that were Steelers, I mean, they're
not severe losses.
No.
I'll tell you right now.
They weren't severe losses. I mean, like, they're guys that can be easily replaced. They're not like, oh my God, I wish.
Some have been replaced.
Yeah.
Roberts has already been replaced by Holcomb and Harrison. Najee's going to be replaced by Warren and a rookie. Ogunjobi's going to be replaced by a rookie.
Yeah.
Fields is going to be replaced by somebody. Daniels was already replaced by McCormick. Who else? Dan Moore was replaced by Broderick. He should have been already.
Yeah.
So like all the guys we're losing are adding comp picks for next year. The Steelers can get up to only 4 comp picks, but they're adding more comp picks for next year.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not losing anybody. We're losing nobody of substance. Now, which one am I going to miss the most? If I'm be honest, bro.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
Tony down with a 2. Dante Thornton Jr. equals Martavis Bryant. I do see similar traits. The Steelers did bring him in. I think they're going to bring him for top 30 visit, but I know they sent a scout to his pro day.
Yeah, they did. I did read that, yeah.
But, yeah, what free agent am I going to miss the most?
Yeah, you go first.
It's between Roberts and Najee, man. I'm going to miss Roberts because, he's such a strong run defender. And that's very valuable. It's hard to come by.
It is.
Because we've been through a lot of linebackers that sucked at that.
Yeah, he was one of the guys that just stood out, did his job as a starter or even in rotations, and was just so consistent and damn good at it.
As for Najee, I'm going to miss him, but I'm not going to miss him in terms of what he brought on the field, because I feel like that's easily replaceable. I feel like Najee had to go. I feel like LA's a phenomenal fit for him. I feel like each party, the Steelers and Najee, were better off mutually splitting. His contract expired. He signed elsewhere. We'll figure it out in the draft. I'm going to miss Najee because he's such a good dude.
Yeah.
I always appreciated his availability, his tough run style, the way he protected the football. He's such an underappreciated back for the Steelers. So I'm going to miss him in that aspect. I'm going to miss how much of a good guy he was in the locker room, how humble he was, how no matter what he went through, he shut his mouth and ran the football as hard as he could. It may not have been explosive. It may not have been incredibly successful, but one of the few running backs to only go for 4 1,000-yard seasons.
If you're not down with that,
you know what I mean?
we've got 2 words for
Let alone
you.
in your first 4 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that no other Steeler back has done. He was able to do it in his first 4 years.
He's the first one to do it since CJ2K.
Yeah.
But he's replaceable. So I'm not going to exactly miss a lot of him on the field, but his presence and his personality You know,
His leadership at that.
reminds me of Juju a lot.
Yeah.
Underappreciated, but it's better off that he goes.
Yeah, I mean, he came in and just did his job. He did his assignment. He did all he could with the bad situations he was in as far as coaching and quarterback play goes and offensive line play at that.
Yeah.
Najee just put his head down and went to work. And that's what he's about.
And that's hard to come by with certain players. Tony Dillon with it too. Cam Scatterbo or Trevion Henderson? Henderson, all day.
I have to go with Henderson.
All day.
I mean,
Scatterbo's too slow. And
Yes.
I like Scatterbo and
yes, I'm a huge fan of Scatterbo.
So am I.
I love his work ethic. I love his hustle. I love the fact that he's a do-it-all guy that can just carry the team on his back.
he is. He doesn't have that long speed.
I know. That's what Henderson has. The guy is a speedster. He's another one of those backs that can just do it all. Receiving back, he's capable of blocking, knocking a player on his ass, really, and just so effective at run the football.
Right.
The thing about him is his injury concerns. He's kind of had that red flag a little bit, but Henderson is a dog.
Yeah, he is.
He will be one of the top backs for sure. So will Scatterbo.
Yeah, I'm glad Najee's back in Cali. He's back closer to home. It makes so much sense for him. It's a perfect fit for him.
It makes all the sense in the world.
He's with a good scheme. He's actually got a supporting cast for once. He has a good quarterback for once.
So, Roberts and Najee I'd probably have to agree.
Yeah.
And Roberts, he even stated that, he hopes that he earned the respect of the city.
Oh,
of
he
Pittsburgh.
earned the respect of everyone here.
He earned more than respect. He earned our appreciation.
I just hate how short of a tender he had.
Only
here.
2 years.
But he made his impact known, bro. Like,
And the Raiders, man, because they lost Spillane. He's going to New England for the Patriots, and he got a bag too.
Right.
And Spillane, man, when he left Pittsburgh, his game completely improved. He was one of those guys of the Raiders team that really stood out and was a consistent playmaker at that.
that's what I'm saying.
Now the Patriots are going to get that. Mike Vrabel getting that kind of player, good on Spillane. And the Raiders have Roberts replace Spillane. That's another good linebacker they got.
Yeah.
We've got 2 words for you.
Oh my God. Ben Wright, 2. With a 2. Ranked the top 7 quarterbacks in the draft, 1 through 7. Bro.
One's Cam Ward.
Yeah, I mean, that's
There's
pretty
no
obvious.
doubt.
Number 2 is Jackson Dart, in my opinion. I don't think he's worth the first, but he's my number 2 in my opinion. Number 3 is Sanders. 4.
Pick your poison.
That's what I'm saying. I see. It's just I don't like too much of the day 3 talent.
See, I don't know, dude. It's Ward. I would agree Dart, 2. Sanders.
Give me
For 4, Dylan Gabriel.
no. Give me Tyler Shuck at 4.
Tyler Shook.
Tyler Shuck at 4, and at 5, probably Will Howard, Quinn Ewers, or McCord. And then
So you don't have Gabriel in there at all.
he's probably He's probably my 6.
Just 6?
So let's recap. Ward, Dart,
If
Sanders,
you're not down with
Shuck.
that, we've got 2 words
Oh,
for
don't
you.
ask me that.
What is it?
Tony Dillon with a 2. Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan, or Benjamin Morrison? Grant.
Yeah, Grant.
I'm going Grant.
Grant.
I'm going Grant. But yeah, Ward, Dart, Sanders, Shuck.
4.
5 would be Will Howard. 6 would be Quinn Ewers. 7 would be Will Howard. Or Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, I matched.
And then 8 would be Kyle McCord. 9 would be, I guess, Milrow.
Not
Not a fan of Milrow.
not Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard reminds me too much of Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I know. You've been adamant about that.
Way too much.
I mean, I don't disagree with that pattern. It's just really it's really tough.
For some reason, I want Hampton. Just don't know about the miles he got on him now. I mean, the past 2 years, he's been very, 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 bell cow heavy. I get it. But if he's there in the I wish.
First.
If he's there in the first, we don't have a second. If he's there in the first, I don't know how the team, doesn't take that. I feel like they would have to. I totally anticipate him being a top 30 visit.
Yeah.
If he's not, that's a huge mistake.
Like, yeah, he's capable of being a bell cow, but that's the thing about if he were to be selected in Pittsburgh, he wouldn't be that day one. He wouldn't be that in general because of the rotations.
Think of it this way. He's only had 2 years of being the bell cow. At least with Pittsburgh, he would split with Warren.
That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't have to worry about that responsibility at all.
Yeah.
He's capable of doing it, but he don't need to do it.
Ward,
and Hampton's a great back.
Ward, Dart, Sanders, Eras, Miro, everyone after that, get them out of my face. And I only say Miro strictly based upon athleticism traits. That's all he's got going for him. If you get him with a really good quarterback guru, then you can get something going there. You can. But you're getting a really good quarterback guru. Like what's his name? We brought him in for an OC visit when we interviewed
Pep Hamilton?
Yes!
Yeah. Pep Hamilton.
You bring Pep Hamilton back, make him the quarterback coach, and have him work with a guy like Jalen Miro. Miro can turn out to be something solid. How does Pep Hamilton not have a job?
What is he doing, by the way? Is he even coaching anywhere?
I don't know.
Is he coaching anywhere? Let me see.
I don't think so.
He is the offensive coordinator for Maryland Terrapins.
For Maryland.
Yeah.
For Maryland.
He was given
Okay,
that.
at least he's
given
doing
that just
coaching.
last month.
At least he's still in coaching.
It's his first time coaching since 2022 when he was the OC for Houston, the Texans.
Good. Get his foot back in there. Maybe get himself an NFL job somewhere. Good for him. I always like Pep.
He's only 50 years old.
Yeah. That's young for a coach.
Yeah.
Very young for a coach. Not the youngest, but
No, 50 for a coach ain't bad.
JPA released something on A-Rod. Oh God.
What?
Now here's the thing. JPA is kind of hit or miss. They're like a copy and paste account.
Yeah, so you really got to take it with a grain of
If
salt.
you're not down with that,
Oh, I'm down with that.
we've got 2 words
I'm down with just
for you.
figuring out who the hell's going to be.
Mason. Hey, Rudolph. Hey, hi, Mason. Hi. A defensive head coach that hasn't invested in the D-line at all in free agency and a wasted spot with a Albert good but 34-year-old starting corner. RIP. I'm not worried about D-line because we're going to go D-line 21.
Yeah.
Won the first round in general. I'm not worried about D-line. Corner, I'm upset about. Because I wanted us to fucking solidify the position for once. And we're like, nah, let's just bring in an older guy to mentor the younger guys and hope that Trice can stay healthy.
Yeah. Though I get what they're trying to go with. Get a veteran in there to mentor the young guys, the younger corners in the room, try to help them out, try to get the best out of them, especially JPJ and Corey Trice.
Or here's the thing, just fucking coach the player.
Or do that. I mean, you brought back Gerald Alexander to be your permanent defensive backs coach.
If you're not down with that,
The
we've
top.
got 2 words for
Shout out to
you.
the corner with a 499. Would you guys redo the DK trade, use the money to pay Fields and GP next year, or are you cool running with Rodgers or Russ? Well, here's the thing. If you pay Field and GP, who's your wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 1?
Listen, regardless, we needed DK.
Yeah.
We needed a playmaker like that.
I'm keeping the DK trade.
That's why I feel like regardless, I have no issue with this this trade, this addition. We needed a guy of DK's caliber and ability.
Especially when we get a quarterback in 2026.
As long as they want to throw the football and scheme up proper routes for DK.
Right.
You paying him all this money. You don't limit DK. You better not.
Hope not. McCord isn't mobile. That's why he's lower on my list. That's not a bad thing, though. It might be scheme specific, but it's not a bad thing about McCoy. I do like him as a passer, though. As a passer, He's up there.
Yeah, he has some flash through the air. Yeah,
He's another day 3 guy I really like.
got some flashes there.
Mm-hmm. See, that's why day 3 is like the sweet spot for quarterback for me this year. Like, if you want an actual backup for years, that's the sweet spot, in my opinion. Not in the first round. Now, if you want to take a quarterback day 2, if a guy falls that you can't pass, sure. But, again, it would have to require a trade back situation. Because otherwise, when you take running back, you don't take running back later? I'm not trying to push D-line too far back. Like, yeah, D-line stacked, but I'm also trying to get the best at the top of the board.
I hear that.
Especially in the trenches. We're drafting Shador? I hope not. I hope not.
I'll be pissed.
Jameis will be much more disciplined under Mike T, and he got a shotgun arm. I actually don't hate the idea of Jameis Winston. I don't.
Jameis, I mean, he can still sling it. He's got an arm. His decision making is just terrible.
Yeah.
It is awful. Would Tomlin help out in that? Maybe. Maybe he'll really speak into his ear and be like, Jameis, like, be careful where the hell you're throwing the damn ball.
Yeah.
Jameis can sling it. He just, again, terrible at turnovers. And he knows that. Winston knows that. It's just, he's Jameis Winston.
Top 5 corners? Are you talking top 5 corners in the draft? Because number 1's probably going to be Hunter. Travis Hunter.
So you view him as corner.
He's both. He's going to play both.
Okay.
That's not going to change.
Well, he's
listed
listed as corner anyway.
He's going to play both.
Well,
So-
Hunter's of course he's one.
He's 1. 2 is Will Johnson. Number 3 is Jahdae Barron. 4 is Trey Amos. And 5, I'm going to have to go Benjamin Morrison. If Morrison played longer, if he didn't get hurt, he's probably up in my 3 or 4.
Okay. So you don't have Hairston or Revel in that?
No.
No?
Revel's right after Morrison.
See, Revel probably be up there if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
Because he played, 3-4 games? I think it was 3.
Yeah. He didn't play a
Yeah, it
lot
was 3
either.
games, and then he suffered an injury.
He didn't play a lot either.
If he didn't get hurt, he'd probably be in discussion for first
The
round.
real question is who signs DJ. I'm not going to pronounce his name, but he's the one dude that played with Clemson. Then
He will
transferred
be an
to Florida
undrafted
State.
free agent, and he will be
He will be signed by.
the Browns. You think I'm kidding?
No, I think he signs with
The Giants.
the Dolphins.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just think he signs with the Dolphins.
Bam, Arthur Smith is the new Matt Canada.
Don't spam the chat, please.
No, let's not do that. I don't want to say Smith's that bad, but there weren't a whole hell of a lot of upgrades. Minimal upgrades.
Right.
We'll see. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah. Yes, I'm starting and leading the Jameis campaign. We need him. He's a great leader, will fight for a starting job, and wants to win.
He's a character too.
He's got a spot as a hilarious interviewer for sure after his career, or whenever the hell that is.
He's one of a kind. That's what I'll say about Jameis.
He's an entertaining character, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I do enjoy how he is on the whatever, mic'd up or on the sideline, whatever it is.
None like a quarterback room of Aaron Rodgers, Jameis Winston, and Skylar Thompson.
We're riding with that, I guess.
Yeet.
I don't know, man. I thought by now we'd sign a quarterback.
Well, I was in the same boat with you, but we both thought wrong.
Yeah.
Here we are waiting on A-Rod's word again.
Remix says most OCs are gonna limit the quarterback first year. No, don't.
No audible.
Oh,
No
don't.
audibling plays.
That's what he's saying. He's
Yeah.
like, don't audible my plays.
Yeah.
He just got to let vet quarterbacks do their thing. I agree. Like, why would Arthur Smith bicker with Russ?
Or limit Russ at that.
No. No.
And then you expect the same with A-Rod?
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
Child of the Corn, unpopular decision. I take Kenny. No, I would not. That is a very unpopular decision. I am not taking Kenny back, bro.
I'm good.
That was some of the worst quarterback play I've ever seen.
I don't want to see him throw toward John Cena.
No.
I don't want to see any more spins.
No.
No.
A hard no. Don't ever want to witness that again. The fact he's a Brown, he's where he belongs. With the shits. Please have him start the first Browns game. He'll start. I'm almost certainly confident he's going to start.
He's got to be, right?
Hope so. One of these games.
I don't think Watson's recovery's going well. Who knows?
I'll reserve what I was going to say. That's all I'll say.
Okay. All right. We'll keep it PG.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, folks, it's 30 after midnight. It is Thursday. Will we sign a quarterback? Are we going to sign a quarterback?
Depends if A-Rod wants to get off the beach. Put some clothes on.
Put some clothes on. I don't know, man. We haven't signed a quarterback. I don't know when it's going to happen. Literally, the past 2 days.
D. Straw with a 199. Picking between Rodgers or Wilson is just sad. R.I.P.
Dude, it's like, I don't know. It's like, you want to take a double barrel or do you want to take a Smith & Wesson 44? Either way, it's not a good choice. Either way, it's just, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? It's awful.
It's just a waiting game, dude. That's how it is. And that's the game the Steelers are playing. We're playing the waiting game. We are waiting on A-Rod's word. And from there, it's just a matter of yes or no.
See, but they said Tuesday. Oh, we can expect a decision by Tuesday. Yesterday, we can expect a decision by Rodgers as soon as today. Motherfucker, when are we going to get a decision?
Yeah, A-Rod needs some time. What does that mean? Does that mean a day? Does that mean 7 days? Does that mean 14 days?
Gorilla, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have a quarterback by the end of tonight. If we don't have a quarterback by Friday, dude, we're going to, I don't know.
If we don't have a quarterback by the end of the first week of free agency, then, like, what are the Steelers' plan in mind?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Russ gets picked up by the end of the week and we're still here like, all right, Rodgers, what are you doing?
That's the crazy part because Russ is the backup plan. A-Rod is priority, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is it? What are you doing? If he says no, what now?
Right.
Come on. Like who's really making the deal? Who's really controlling this shit?
Aaron Rodgers. It comes down to
the
him.
Steelers are letting A-Rod have a say.
Like I said, the Steelers are literally getting played around with by players like Ayuk and now Rodgers. They're getting toyed around with. They're easily to manipulate at this point.
A-Rod needs prune juice.
Probably does.
Edward, yes. Probably.
Especially after a Permane Brothers sandwich. Or however many pierogies he might eat in Pittsburgh. If he ever actually decide to come here. Let's hope that doesn't actually happen. I don't want either. But one of these guys got to come here. So whoever it is, we just got to sell with it. But I think we can all agree, the sooner that this saga ends, the better. So we can move on. And just accept the fact that we're stuck with an old quarterback.
This is the first part of suffering. Just end it right now, just so we know.
Like, the more it drags out, the more I suffer. The more I start to disengage overall as a fan.
Yep.
Like, literally, I was refreshing X every couple hours, and I get no update. It got to a point where I'm like, I give up.
Yeah, listen, man. Like
it could break tonight at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So far, the DK trade was great. It was a great starting point. From there, the Steelers were just trying to figure out the quarterback situation. They still are. And then they signed depth guys. They signed Darius Slay. Right? Like it's decent. With Metcalf obviously being the best. The decent free agent so far. They got better depth-wise.
I won't even say it. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I'm not a fan.
They got better at the cornerback position, a better cover corner, but they got older. Not a long-term solution.
They got better depth. That's all I can say.
Decent, but so far.
Like I know their game. I know the long game here with the comp picks.
I hope that's what it is.
I just think with all the money you had, you didn't do much with it.
They're literally sitting on that money.
But they still have time to make some moves. I don't expect any splashes. I would like a new move at guard. I would still like the addition of a Cooper Kupp or an Asante Samuel Jr. They're probably just going to sign depth at safety or tackle or O-line or whatever. Time's going to tell. But hopefully the Steelers still make some moves because we still got a lot to fill before the draft.
Yeah.
We don't have a second round pick because we fixed that with DK. And they still got more to try to bring in terms of depth pieces or, bringing in extra bodies for upgrades at certain positions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they have the ability to do it. It's just a matter of them actually bringing guys in.
If they can bring them in.
But I can't help but get the feeling of this is almost like a Kevin Colbert free agency period without Kevin Colbert.
Yeah.
I can't help but be a little disappointed as a fan. Not very high on what they've done so far.
And I don't blame you for feeling that way. I feel the same exact way.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of you guys watching live right now feel the same way.
I don't know, man.
I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe we just got to be a little bit more patient. Maybe. We'll see what happens. And we'll just see if A-Rod will be the next Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback.
Yeah, and we say that with as little enthusiasm as possible. With that being said, we're going to go on out of here. We appreciate you guys for joining us tonight on another live stream as we discuss some of the new signings, discuss some of the depth pieces, and just a whole blunder of a quarterback situation that I can't believe we're literally living through. I feared the day of this. And a lot of people are saying, wait till Ben retires. You're going to wish that he never left. In a way, you're kind of right. Because, damn, this sucks.
It really sucks.
I think it'd be this bad.
Yeah. This is our first time experiencing it. We know nothing but Ben. Ben's all we know.
But you know what? We got to get through the rough to get to the fairway.
There's got to be, there has to be some sort of light at the end of this tunnel. There has to be. We just got to get through the rough, yes.
It's not going to be for another year.
I know.
Get ready for a crazy year, dude.
I know.
Sign a quarterback. Let's focus on the draft. That's where I'm at.
Tell you right now, I have not been this disenfranchised of this team. Like, I have little care.
Oh, I'll be watching. I'll be paying attention.
Yeah. I'm going to watch. I'm going to try to pick out the positives. I'm going to see what I can take from it. But I have little to zero care or expectations of this season.
It almost comes to a point that no matter what they do, it's like, whatever.
I did in general overall, but now it's like what else am I supposed to think?
Ben was washed too. Sometimes you just gotta eat a shit sandwich and move on. The most blunt way to put it. I like that. I mean, I don't, but
Galatachuli's correct.
Yeah. I don't know, guys.
Just shove it down.
Sadly, another average-ass season. This era being a diehard Steelers fan is rough. It sure is. D-Straw, it sure is. God hope we can find it sooner rather than later, says Gorilla. Yeah, man. Y'all really thought Steelers were Super Bowl bound after Ben left? No, remix.
What?
No.
What?
Bro.
Where did we say that?
Bro, I knew the Steelers weren't Super Bowl bound after that 2020 season.
Yeah, that was it.
Ever since then, I have never thought they were Super Bowl bound. Ever. I just didn't think it'd be this bad to find a new quarterback. That's all I'm saying.
They never will be as long as Tomlin's coach.
No.
We said that after the Texans game 2 years ago.
Yeah. God. Wow. We got a long way to go, guys, but just sign a quarterback and move on. That's how we're at. We're going out of here. You guys have a great rest of your night. Appreciate you guys for watching. If you guys are exiting, hit that like if you haven't. Hit the subscribe if you guys are new. We appreciate you guys so much. As always, trying to keep you guys updated and give you guys our own blunt, honest opinions about the Steelers and what they're doing this week. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to BetUS Sportsbook and Casino for sponsoring with us on this live stream. Again, check them out. They got all the NFL future odds you guys are looking for. If you guys are looking for a new sportsbook for the upcoming season or for any of your sports needs, man, BetUS has you covered with a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 and 125% on your following two deposits. using YouTube 150 as the promo code when you sign up today. So thanks to them for sponsoring with us. You guys are great as always. We'll see you guys later this week with hopefully more news and hopefully a quarterback signing. As unexciting as it's going to be, something, just something, right? I don't know. We'll see, man.
How about when you close it out, you put up that A-Rod picture?
Oh, I will.
Yeah. I figured you would.
Do I still have it? I do.
Oh, good Lord.
All right, we're gonna end this the exact same way we begun this live stream.
My God. All right.
This son of a bitch. See you in the next one. Here we go, Steelers.
And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace. Really?